What is going on, everybody? So I kind of wanted to do this, which was just watch this stream from last night, and then I was also like, just kind of playing around a little bit on Club Dub, and I didn't really know what to do. I was playing a little Omaha. I could play, the games aren't really like super populated right now, so like small stakes. There's a little bit going on. Micro stakes is a little bit better, because of just the general population. So I thought I'd maybe like kind of combine my two tasks of just play a little bit and watch this stream. But like I really wanted to focus on the stream more than the playing. I thought I'd maybe just kind of like add a table or two on the side, right, kind of right over here. But yeah, they're going over all these players. I don't really know most of these players. I've seen a couple of them play before, but like not really intensively. Thing that I thought would be cool here is DGAF is playing. He's one of the commentators / he is the you could say like host or whatever. I don't really know the best word. Host is like probably not the right word because like I don't really see him there a lot. But like whenever he like kind of runs, produces. He's the producer of the Lucky Lady stream, which I am much more familiar with. / I'm at that casino all the time. So I just thought it'd be cool to see him play because I don't think I've ever really seen him play before, honestly. And like I actually think he was on the live stream there the other day as well. But like that's harder to watch someone play given that you don't have the whole card cam, which I do believe they should be getting at some point. That's all I've heard from them. Like I've only been going there for about 2 months now, right? A month, 2 months, I don't remember. They say they're getting it. But tonight they've got a 25-50 game. Everyone's in for 5K. Like what a standard game, So I don't know if they're playing any extra games right now. I'm going to try to do this without the volume on, just because I don't want to run into any copyright issues if I do post this. Like, because I mean, if I ever do this, I always do this stuff on list to start. So it was a call and a raise, or a raise and a call, I should say. It was a call, then a raise and a call, and then a donk out from. Are we gonna update? No. Okay. He donked out on a. Oh, I guess he was check two, right? Oh no. Okay. The limp caller was the jack deuce. Limp caller was the jack deuce. My bad. Their graphics were not updating quite quick enough. But he limp called too. That's like a lot, bro. To limp call. So Donger, that must be this guy in the nice kind of. I don't know what you call that shirt. That type of shirt. That's him saying check verbally and then check folding. Okay, got it. So yeah, the board was all red, but not red for him. But normally 12x. That's 12x. Yeah, I mean that's like that's the kind of numbers you see in like the 1 2 2 3 game. Even the $5 blind game, $60 raise is like pretty big. $6 is pretty big. So that was kind of surprising for a first hand, but I guess maybe that's just the stream game / how these people play. But yeah, that's definitely almost 10% of your stack. Big Jung UTG with the A4 suited. Is he gonna? Okay, so he goes for the 4. Sorry, not the 4. It's the 8x. I was gonna say, is he gonna go for the limp? Because he looks like one of these guys who might go for the limp. Like older gentleman, play a little close to the vest, but he seems like he's a little more on the aggro side, which is honestly better for him. Oh, it's Big John versus Johnny. So check call, reasonable size bet. Probably not going to double barrel, right? If I had to guess, like that's like a tough, that's a tough card to 2 barrel. And if you get checked to a third time, you can like try to bet off the chop, like that's always a thing. And I mean, he might just be going for value against the QX here, which I mean, going this small, like yeah, you're definitely not betting off the chop. So that's like a really optimistic call from Johnny, I would say, because when people go bet check bet there like that, especially that small number on the river, usually not going to see a bluff. You're like on the double pair board, like I mean, because you yourself have repped an ace or a queen, and when you're betting that size, it's like, yeah, those are some of the hands that like when I was telling myself in the beginning of 2026, like my New Year's resolutions to fold more rivers, those were the rivers to fold, and like those were the situations, because you win those hands when they check back, not when they bet. So like it is okay to check call there sometimes, I would say, like maybe not against someone like that. Okay, so raise call. So I'm watching this like very fast because I want to get as many hands as possible. And oh my god, turns the boat ski, Sandman here. You got to get some value in now because the board's so draw heavy, but it does kind of suck because you feel like no one's got anything. But they can get some action, can check back the flop with a pretty big draw, honestly. Pretty big draw. It's like now here you, bro, check, because all the draws miss. All the draws miss. And obviously I can see the cards. But all the draws miss here. It's like, dude, what do you think he's going to be? And if he does have 5x or whatever, he's going to bet it. Queen X almost certainly bets the flop, and he probably would bet the river with the queen anyway. Like he'd have to have a really, really, really weak queen. So that's like a spot where I think a lot of people get a little too overzealous. Like keep in mind, like you can rep a draw yourself with your bet on the turn. Like you're not just repping deuce. You can rep quite a bit yourself. So I think that going for the XR AI is really nice right there. personally. DGAF with the open to 4x, the first reasonable open we've seen tonight, but a relatively unreasonable hand from the LJ with 10-7 offsuit. Given the way that this game's been playing so far, you would not expect that to get through. This is playing like a small stakes, micro stakes type game, honestly. I mean, especially if you look at all the hands that are involved. Check, and then Johnny bets out with the, that's, okay, so, oh my god, I can't even say it right now, but that's a state bet. That's a state bet. Damn it, that's a state bet that I can't say. Okay, I mean, I'm just gonna say the name of the bet, and like, I'll give you guys the break. I have to write this article up slash post of the day. I'll write this post of the day. Maybe by the time you guys have, I'll try to have this post of the day up. That's an Oklahoma bet. Okay, that's an Oklahoma bet right there. Standard Oklahoma bet where he had like a medium strength hand and he just bet like medium, like into the field. So this Johnny character, it is, I'm gonna say, very inexperienced, because so far we've seen him make a pretty bad call and he made an OKB, which is what I call the Oklahoma bet shorthand. So the Oklahoma bet in relation to the Texas bet is basically like its little cousin. It's just like the smaller, dumber version, and it's usually a smaller, dumber hand. You know, it just, and why is it small? Because the sizing, obviously, but why is it dumb? Because like it's also small because the hand strength is not going to be as big typically. But the Oklahoma bet like typically steals the betting lead for no fucking reason. Like that's like one of the big things about the OKB is it just steals the betting lead for no reason. So yeah, that was a total OKB for no reason. He could have let DGAF bet at the flop and then like, you know, check call and like actually acquire some value. That's a spot where he can get value with his hand here. I did not see this at all. Who's K? Is that the lady here? I have not seen her before on the show. 25-50, but I do typically watch like either the Monday game or like the Wednesday, Friday game. I don't know why I watch the off nights. So bad. I'm so sorry. She raised pre, right? Yeah, she raised pre. Okay, and then she bets on the flop. That's a terrible flop to see bet, bro. Terrible flop to see bet. Just given like the texture and the situation, but especially the sizing too, 500. That only really gets hands like that you're already beating to fold. But that's fine. It's like not like the worst result, but it's just a bad texture. Like that texture hits the caller so much. The fact that she's betting for value here and still has the best hand, or I'm sorry, the fact that she's betting here and still has the best hand is like actually crazy. Is actually, are you considering calling? If she considers calling here, then she's maybe a maniac. What? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what she's thinking about right now. This is bizarre. Like the double barrel was bizarre, and the even consideration of the calling is like actually crazy here. I'm watching this at 2x speed, basically, right? What am I watching this at? 1.5x speed. And she looked like she, either that was Hollywooding, but you're on camera, so it's like there's no Hollywooding here, really. You know, like we all are gonna know what you have. First of all, okay, I want to interrupt myself and just say, Tawny always looks so nice, bro. Her hair is always done up so well. Like you can tell that she cares about being on stream, and she just like makes the stream so bright. I love watching when she's here because she just has that like bright energy. So I just always want to say that whenever I see her, it's like every day her hair is done up different and nice. And like as someone who's got long hair, I know like I will never do my hair. So it's like the fact that she goes out of her way to do her hair like 3 days a week for this show is wild. Like she's having a good dealer for a stream game is so important. Her and Magic are like very good parts of this game. I know there's another guy now, Sammy, who's like been more in the rotation. Like it's hard for me to kind of get a vibe on them because they don't really get to showcase themselves very often. It's like when you have like these little flares, I always think it's so nice to have the dealer be part of the show, basically. That was one thing that I never really loved about the old high stakes poker shows. It's like they never show the dealer. You know, give the dealer a little love. Like they are there and they can be part of the show as much as the players, as much as the commentator. It's a whole, you left a 25 chip behind, buddy. But yeah, like it's just nice having the casino, the chips, the dealers, the staff be part of the show. But yeah, that double barrel was extremely, I would say, loose from our new friend K. All right, now let's just see what the hell happened this hand. Is this just an all-in pre-flop? Okay. 3-bet, raise, 3-bet. So this is just a bunch of shenanigans. This is like typical stream stuff, you know? Let's just see the results. Santa wins, Dunger wins, Kate losed again, and she flopped a set and she lost. Damn. And she got overstrated. That's so rough, bro. To flop a set, running it twice, and to still lose. But yeah, that's live. And the thing that sucks, not live, like that's just like, that's life, really. That's life, that's poker. But the thing that sucks about live and stream games, like, God damn, bro, when you're sitting there and it's like you're experiencing the negative variance, and like I've only played on the Lucky Lady stream for like, what, 10 hours? But to play on any stream for any duration, I can tell you, it's just like the time goes a little bit slower. And when you're not doing well, the time definitely goes slower. So rough start for her is all I'm getting at. Rough start for her. I hope she can pick it up / turn it back around. Yeah, I didn't know if I would actually enjoy doing this or not, but I am actually having a lot of fun doing this to the point where I don't even think I want to play any tables because I don't want to distract myself. I'm actually like liking this. My head's kind of blocking the graphics now. Let's see, center, then me. What can I do about me? I could just put myself up. I like being down. I'll just put myself over. I just don't want to block the card graphics. This looks like a big pot. Let's go back and see what happened here. Big PFA, big pre-flop action on this hand. But yeah, I've always wanted to like commentate these games, but of course, you have to like be a commentator to commentate them. But I was like, I could do this. All right, so Big John raised into 300. This is another big raise. Did he make that first big raise, or was it? No, it was the other guy, it was Santa, who made the big raise. But yeah, 12x is just such a huge number. All right, so yeah, it was Big John raised to 12x and got a handful of callers and hits a pretty much like a beautiful flop is what I like to call these situations, because whenever you hit these flops, you're basically losing to effectively 6 combos, 3-6-6, 3 of 2-2, because no one should really be playing 6 deuce, jack deuce, or jack 6. Even in these stream games, that's such a loose hand. Maybe 6 deuce suited, maybe. After doing a little bit of solver work recently, it's like, yeah, like some of those smaller connected hands, if they're suited, sometimes you're getting a really good price. Not when you're getting 12x'd, so he just went bet, right? Just bet. Cool. Yeah, this Donger gentleman seems like a bit of a wait. So he bet and then bet 500 on the turn and then raise. Okay, got it. Yeah, this Donger gentleman does not seem like the kind of person who's going to be raising with like anything speculative. He seems very straightforward. You're betting the river, Big John. You're gonna call bet. That's like a blocker bet, right? For sure. Oh yeah. He bet 1K. Is he gonna jam it? Is he smart enough to jam? He's not smart enough to jam. Now, I'm not saying smart enough. Like, now, guys, trust me. Like, I hate this. This is one reason too why I hesitated on doing stuff like this, because I didn't want to come across as like super fucking mean and rude and shit. The dude is clearly just not an experienced poker player. Like that's all you can really say. So, and and when I say experienced, I mean studied. Okay, he hasn't done the work yet. Like some people have been playing for 10, 20, 30 years. Doesn't matter. Like that's not what I mean by experience. When I say experience, I mean like, have you spent hundreds of hours thinking about the game critically, watching videos, reading books, listening to podcasts, talking to the game with people, working with solvers, things like that. Like, have you spent hundreds of, if not thousands of hours at this point? For every year that you play the game, you should put in at least 100 hours doing that kind of thing. So what the fuck? Dude just rivered it and he like snap called. This is funny. He is a funny gentleman, but yeah, I can see the game kind of revolving around him in a bit of a way, because like, bro, you don't even consider raising. Like, that's a raise all day, every day. Like, slow played 8x on a random 2 pair, and if you get re-raised back, you just fold, because that means they had backdoor diamonds. But did he? No, he let out. So yeah, you can definitely raise that for value. But the fact that like I know we're moving at 1.5x speed, but he didn't even consider it. Like, it's okay to not raise that every time, but you got to at least consider it every time. Like, that part is important. I also don't like when people keep their chips so close to somebody else's chips. So I will dual blame Santa and Donger for that whole situation. Like, I hate looking in an area as a player and seeing one conglomeration of chips and trying to find where like their little self-check or their little checkout line plastic divider is, like, because that's all you can fit between there is a plastic divider from a checkout line. That is it. Like, and for me as a player, like, I never want my money that close to someone else's money, because who knows where they're going to be reaching. I mean, I know they're on a stream, this and that, but like, yeah, to me it's just a comfort thing. So big was it big 3-bet, because we got a relatively reasonable open. Wait, raise to 200 and small 3-bet. Oh, wait, he 3-bets with 5 deuce offsuit. Oh boy. All right, so we got some definite interesting play going on here. Yes, DGAF, you are going 5 ways, my friend. And what are you holding? Sitting there with the ATS. Good hand to have. Honestly, it's the best hand in the moment. And now it looks like this gentleman here just chose aggression this hand, I mean, he does hit the deuce. So like that, his bet is not an actual just like nothing C bet. He does actually hit pretty good. Oh boy. Sasa, maybe? I've heard her name before, but I don't think I've ever seen her play before. So bet, jam, and now he's like considering it. Why would she jam on him, bro? I don't know. Because if he's bluffing, he's bluffing. And if he's not, like, just let him keep betting. Like, that's a weird jam, in my opinion. That's like, it's not exactly Texas, but it's bordering Texas. That's bordering Texas, bro. Like, that's like an Oklahoma jam, pretty much. That's an Oklahoma jam, because it's like, you don't need to. If he's got ace, king, queen, just let him keep betting. Like, let him keep betting. The dude's clearly in the initiative. So I don't want to take the lead away from players like that. That's twice we've seen someone kind of, well, the first time was with the deuce when the guy kind of just bet on the river. That hand was a bad bet on the river because everything bricked, and it's like, bro, come on, you got to give some rope when everything bricks. Like, people just aren't reading the texture super well right here. What did John do? He raised pretty big pre. He's down to 16 after that last loss with the ace jack, which, I mean, he just got turned. But then again, he should have folded the turn too. You know, like, a player like that is probably never bluff raising you on the turn. He can make a very nitty fold. Then he just jams on the flop, which is like, it's relatively Texas. That's relatively Texas. And just that it's he's deciding, I don't want to, because look at the pot size, bro. Like, this is such an easy 1/3 bet, you know? He's got 1,600 left in the pot's 1K. Bet 300, bet 350, bro. Rope him in. You got the board on lock. Like, he just doesn't want to think. And it's like, not thinking is an integral part of the Texas bet because it means I got a hand that's good. I'm going all in. Yeehaw. That's all it really is. Decaf gives some generosity, some donation. And the aces run clean, getting up, assuming for a reload. This looks like a fun game, though. This is a 25-50 game that I would happily play if they would let me play, you know? When I'm at the level of playing this game, when I say level, I mean comfort and financially. You know, comfort in 2 levels. One, and it's kind of both the financially thing right there, is like to be comfortable enough to lose, like, you know, 15, 20, 25K in a single night, and the skill to play with players who would be willing to lose that. But I'm just saying, at this table, I already have the skill, I think. I think I could range people accordingly after playing, or after watching this for about 20 minutes. Sorry, an hour. Oh, how time flies. We've watched an hour worth of footage, but it's only taken us about 20 minutes. How time flies. Oh, that's right, because you start a half hour in. That makes sense. I was gonna say, I was like, it doesn't feel like a full hour. I forgot about that. What's happened? Dude made a big raise with a big hand. Cool. He doesn't seem bad, but he also, like the gentleman to his right, he seems a bit inexperienced just because of that deuce hand. I give a lot of credit to one hand, honestly, because it just tells me a lot about one's ability to hand read and their willingness to execute on said reads. Like, checking there when you can have your opponent check back and you can look dumb with the full house on stream is like kind of like the ultimate check a gamble, like, because that's when you have the absolute most to lose. Like, you know, not only are people going to laugh at you, but it's recorded forever. You know, people are going to laugh at you at the regular table anyway when you check and someone checks back and you have nothing to do other than say the nuts and just flip your hand over. Then you know, typically at the very least the person who's in position to you is going to give you some kind of look. Didn't really see what happened here, but I don't think it's going to be super important. I like following the whole hands. I'm sorry, guys. I like following the whole. So HC can raise to 100 from the LJ. DGAF flats with the 960, which is extremely loose. Bunch of loose calls here, honestly. Big John's the only person here with a real hand who calls. And then does he lead on the flop? These graphics are not keeping up, but I believe Big John leads on the flop. Check on the turn. Oh my gosh. So cooler here on the. Oh, no. Kicker to boat, dude. Boat. I'm such an idiot, dude. Boat versus trips. Big cooler here. Is she gonna raise? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, against Big John. No, dude. Like, that's a weird raise. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I can see the raise, but like maybe like click it back fold. Maybe click back fold against a guy like this because he are, you know, 8-9s out there. You know, boats, bigger one. Yeah. Even just like your kicker sucks. So like he leads river for pot, full fucking pot, and you're gonna basically put him in with a 3K. Yeah, I don't love that. This is twice now we've seen from this Sasa baby that she's just overplaying hands. I mean, even to pay off the last 775 is like punting, bro. Even to pay off the last 775 against an OMC, assuming that's what we're working with here. That Texas bet with the AA is like super OMC, bro. Like super OMC. So that's just kind of what I'm going with here. Also raising to 12x pre is like, yeah, with the AJO, 12x is like. So she just has a willingness to gamble, it seems, which is inherently fair. What the hell? is what? Oh, are they doing a bomb pot? Bro, I was gonna say, what is going on? Where did all this money come from? I think they did a bomb pot because it's like, then I just like look in the middle and there's like all this money and she's dealing cards. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, I think they did a bomb pot for like maybe $100, $200, probably $100. Looks like I didn't see the bets in this and that, but this shouldn't really go anywhere. Is she okay? Well, I guess I will check the size. Okay, so 9 players, yeah, $100, $100. $100 bomb pot. So $100 bomb pot, and then K bets on the flop. What? Why, bro? Why? So she's just gonna try and bluff San off of like some mediocre holding, I suppose. Like put him on KX, but you're not putting anyone on anything. You're hoping. You're hoping that the dude has KX or a weak ace that he will fold by the river eventually. And that's a super optimistic. Super optimistic. Even if I didn't see the actual flop action, but even if everyone checks you, bro, you're 9 ways. You're 9 ways. I don't like that personally. I don't like that personally. I should have like some. I realize like I look at my audio bar right now. And I'm like I have no audio playing. It's like, oh yeah, I muted the stream, but I should have something playing. I just don't know what I would have playing in the background. So hopefully you guys can deal with me just like breaking down this this gameplay. I'll try to like say the hands and such more just in case. I know that when I'm watching things like this, it's hard for me to follow along without directly watching the screen itself. So I will try to do a better job of actually saying the hands. But it's hard when people are going literally 8 ways. But Donger here, the gentleman, does flop a bottom set monotone board though. K with the flush flops it already, and they're just gonna get the money in right now. The way that they've been playing, this is like a super standard get in. Super standard get in. Like there's no way that that either of them could have really played it any differently. And they're gonna run it twice. K is gonna win the first and the second as well. It's a 30% chance to win one run out with the set, or no? Wait, because you have about 30, right? Because on the flop you have, I know from the turn of the river you have like 20% to boat up because you have 10 outs. 10 outs times 2 is about 20%, and then the flop to turn equity is not quite 10 because you don't have the card removal of the turn. So maybe it's like 35%. So when you run it twice, you should, in theory, at least chop, right? Run it twice, you should usually get half your money back at least. But yeah, so it's like you could say from a numbers perspective that that's running a little bad. All right, so HC Ken with the 8-8 call and Santa with the straddle 3-bet 4x, pretty standard. Did dude jam on him with 8-8 and he snapped with the QTS? Wow, with the nuts. And he forced him to burn an 8. And he burned an 8 of his. And he turns, bro. He second boards a 10. Jesus, dude. Poker's so brutal. Poker's so brutal. Ugh. Now, I respect what HC Ken is doing in that he's giving all of the chips that he just lost over to Santa, and he's not going to pay him with big chips. He's saying, fuck these chips. These shits just fucking lost for me. So get out of my sight. And the only way I want you back is if I wing you back. I've done both. You know, sometimes when you lose a big pot, you will either ship your opponent big chips and you will keep your stack because it's like, I don't want to fucking deal with it. And sometimes you're just pissed off at your chips and you send those over and you say, I'm taking my new chips. Fuck it. Fuck it. And to anyone who doesn't, bro, I really, really, really would recommend playing, like, I never even considered it this, but I always just call it the stream style where you just have your reload on you. Like I always, and every good player that I've ever ran into in every casino, like, you know, that's why I've got this idea, has always had the reload on them. Like no one's ever fucking asking the cage or the runner or this or that for chips when you are a regular at the casino and a good player. You know, like it's pretty much it, because it's just assumed that you're winning. It's assumed that you are going to keep winning and that you have money on you because you've been winning. And that's kind of the meta. And unless like you've needed the money for other casinos or your bankroll or life or whatever, then, you know, you just happen to have like some big chips on you. So anytime someone buys in to a game, I assume that they're going to have, you know, I assume every reg is going to have their reload on them. Most of them are going to have at least hundreds in their pocket, if not $1,000 chips, you know, for the $5 blind game. And you don't really get regulars like that at the under $5 blind game because you can't really make a living too easily off the, you know, sub $5 blind game. So it's harder to, damn, she's got banged again. Like deck is not being kind to her. Oh, wait, no. She just had the flush. That's right. She just got, those first 2 hands were really rough, but then she did just get a nice little, equity equalization, I should say. But yeah, you will usually know who's got, more money on them. Oh, my bad. I completely misread this. She is continuing to just get lucky against him. She's continuing to just get lucky against him. That's what happened. That's what happened. My bad, y'all. This is my first time doing this, so I'm gonna get some of the action wrong. I'm gonna have to go back a little bit. I'm gonna be yapping. That's kind of the not the point of this, but like I did realize that, whenever I do watch these kinds of streams, I really don't pay very good attention. Whenever I do a lot of my studying, it's not that I don't pay attention when I'm studying, it's that I just don't remember a ton of stuff. So I want to really record like a lot more going forward. And even if I don't post it all on the unlisted, even if I just record it only for myself, I just want to record more because that's how I personally have always remembered things better, is by speaking them out loud, writing them down, making my videos. I mean, once again, I've talked about this in the Discord for a while, but I have been like, dude, she's a star. Like, why would you not feature the dealer? Beautiful pink nails, like she's great. And I've recorded my sessions. God, so when did I first start recording I first started recording my sessions, bro, back when we were using, and I swear to God, I think we're on like the 3rd version. This shit was called Camtasia. Tasia. It was a $300 program, and it was very expensive to get the code. So we would always pirate that shit from, what was it, fucking LimeWire or whatever it was, or torrent it. I forget what the fuck we would do, but we would always pirate the code, and we would get the software, and we would use that to bro. This back in the day is so funny too. Talking about this, what we would use to, did they change the graphics? I don't know. It was like so slow. It was so slow. It would record the screen. It's basically OBS, but the computers back in the day couldn't handle this kind of shit. Screen recording at 60 frames per second, even at like 720p. Insanity, bro. For what, bro? And your 3, yeah, and those 3. Oh, that was. I'm like, bro, don't fuck up your chips right there. Don't fuck up your chips. But yeah, so all I'm saying is to record, like, say, an hour-long session. The recording was tough in and of itself. You have to shut everything down. But to process the video and then to actually export it, oh my God, bro. I would literally have to have my computer set aside for like 12 hours just to export like an hour video. I'm not joking. 4 tables for an hour was about a 12-hour process. It was bonkers. This dude's all in with the OESD. Damn, dude. Santa might call him with the hire. I have no idea what this Johnny gentleman's gonna do. This Johnny guy seems like a little inexperienced too, but he gets out the way. But yeah, so that was in like, oh fucking 8, bro. That was the very first time I did this shit, was in 08. Now that was a huge pain in the ass. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was a huge pain in the ass. So I didn't really go back to doing that until, we only did it for our study group. We would record our sessions, because everything else we just did Poker Tracker, Hold'em Manager, which is still the industry standard for recording your hands and such on sites that do allow it, and this and that. But somewhere in like the 2011, 2012, call it like 20, it was like right around merge, it's like after Black Friday. So like, call it 2013. I believe, if I go back on my YouTube, I believe if I check my oldest uploads ever for online poker videos ever, which are like 13 years ago. And that's basically how long I've consistently been recording my sessions. So I will record shit for myself all the time. But yeah, I've been recording my own sessions for 13 plus years. And that's why doing something like this is not only helpful for me for actually watching the stream, hopefully you guys can get a little benefit and or entertainment out of it, being watching on the side. But I'm going to do this for my GTO Wizard study sessions as well, just so I can remember them better. And then if I do want to go back, I'll have the footage as well. It's hard to remember every little thing that you pick up when you're messing around in the solver. Just as it's hard to follow every single hand here, Haven't seen much from our host, our lucky lady host. All of the big hands have been dealt one seat to his right. 300, it looks like, and a call from Big John under the gun. 12x is such a ridiculous raise size, bro. Oh, wait. I did see one hand had the straddle. I don't know if every hand has the straddle on. Might be. Dude, have I been saying 12x? 2550, bro. That's 6x, you fucking moron. That's 6x. I'm so stupid. It's so fucking funny. Hey, if you're still here, 6x, 2550, not 1025, 2550. I was looking at the 25 for some reason. I don't know what's going on with the graphics right now and what's going on with the game, because I see it said calling 25, which doesn't make any sense. And then the graphics say 25/525 NL. So it seems like everyone's a little fucked up right now. But yes, if the BB is 50, then 300 is indeed 6x, not 12x. I am sincerely apologetic for my multiplication error. Something about me, I don't know what it was looking at the small blind. I cannot tell you why. I was like, yeah, 25 divided by, oh, wait a minute, was what just happened in my brain. Big John got there in the river, but that's kind of karma. She had that coming. She did that last against, I don't know what you call that kind of shirt. But I've never seen someone wear this kind of shirt who wasn't like successful, you know, in life. Who didn't at least have like a good job, wife and kids. All right, 6x open from Santa. All right. Everything in life is making so much more sense now. To be fair, 6x is still kind of big. I'm not sure, but then to be also fair, there could be straddle in play, and then it's just 3x down to that point, and then now we're talking like actual reasonable poker. So he went open 3-bet and then jam over the 3-bet. All right. That is a very powerful move with the ace and the deuce. He didn't look like he was ready to fold. Plus, San doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would like 3-bet a hand like 10-10 and then let it go. You know, it's more like he's doing it just for pure value. Santa is a gambler. That's how he gets all that money for them Christmas presents. He's a gambling man. All right. So, and another thing too about like doing this is in no way, shape, or form am I going to be able to finish this whole thing. You know, there is still in real time, you could say, over 4 hours of footage. It's taken me 40 minutes to do, you know, about an hour. So I can't do it all unless, of course, I just make that my whole thing, which, who knows, maybe someday all I will do is sit here and commentate poker. But for now, I still want to play some poker. And I also don't think that people are going to want to sit here and watch me commentate on a stream that I'm not participating in or have any real, I'm not really sure what to say other than I'm watching this for my own entertainment value, and I am trying to provide analysis from a poker perspective. But unless, of course, you're going to be playing in bigger games, it's not going to really give you a ton of value. Although there are players in these games that you can absolutely extrapolate on in your games, you know, kind of like break it down. A little bit of trickle down knowledge here. You know, player, I forget what Donger, gentleman in the white. He is definitely a player who I've seen many times before. Sasa Baby, absolutely. She plays her hands big and quick, you know, a lot of Texas style. Santa's just here to gamble, it looks like. Santa is just here to gamble. Johnny, a little inexperienced. I was kind of curious just to see how Decaf plays, like in general. The guy to his right, HC Ken, I believe was his name, seems like another relatively standard kind of reg, you know. The new person new to me person in the 8 seat or 9 seat, I guess, K, also seems like kind of a gamble, maybe a little bit of gamble to her. So even if we're not playing these exact limits, you know, I don't think anyone in the Discord currently is, you can still get plenty out of watching footage like this. I do it, I of course admit, mainly for entertainment, but I do think that there's plenty of value that you can be had in watching real humans play real poker with their emotions and such, like on the line and available for everyone to see, while their hold cards are also being seen. That is something that you can take with you to the casino. Like if you guys play any live poker whatsoever, you can take this with you to the casino. If you don't play any live poker whatsoever, then this is going to be almost purely for entertainment value, because you're not going to really be able to take too much of the gameplay, you know, theory and practice and, you know, use it on even a place like Club Dub. Just because, I guess that you could find some tables that are kind of like this. The money's just always going to be a little bit different, though, because I'm not sure if I don't think they're doing an ante, and I don't think they're doing a forced straddle. So the structure is just always going to be a little bit switched up and this and that. But from a player type composition, you could absolutely find this table in any card room in America or online. And I only say that specifically because the 9-handed tables are typically a little bit weaker. Yeah, I believe Santa is here, for lack of better terms, just to have a good time. And there's no fault in that, because A, that's what poker needs to keep it, you know, good and going. And B, not everyone's gotta be a pro, you know. Magic in the box. Always clean cut. Like I said, bro, it's just great having a little flair, you know, like a little dealer personality flair. Ooh, PLO double board bomb pot. I assume double board. Wait, do they? I mean, at the tables at Hustler, that's what they do. So I'm guessing that that's what they're gonna do right now. Oh no, single board. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say on the stream you don't normally see the double board. On this stream, on Lucky Lady, they will do the double board. But at the regular tables at Hustler, it is double board. So And then also there's a cap too. I'm not sure if there's a cap on this one. So like at the $5 blind game, usually it's a $500 cap for the bomb pot rotation hand. Bomb pot game, no cap, because that's like what you're there to play. But when they do the bomb pot on the hold'em tables, they implement a cap just so that people who are not there to play specifically that one hand don't get completely crushed and this and that. Very hard to follow this right now. I can see Sasa Baby's got 3 pair. Oh, sorry. HC Ken has 3 pair. My bad. Sasa Baby's got big draw, which she hit. Sorry, Ken. You're getting screwed tonight, bro. He lost the 8-8 versus whatever flip 2x, Queen 10 off, or sorry, Queen 10 suited flip 2x. He lost. There, he doesn't even need to boat up. He just needs to fade. Couldn't even do that. Raw flush draw. I think she had a gutter too, but still. Only having to fade 12 outs in PLO is like, that's good. That's not bad. It's not bad. Normally you have to fade like quite literally half the deck, given how many opponents you are up against. All right. Johnny opens it up. Sand calls. Degaff calls. Santa threes. Tiny 3 though. Like, I don't really love. I would just jam, bro. You've been playing like a madman. Just freaking jam it in, dog. For real. Just like, this is a bad spot. This is like actually a really bad play from someone like them, because the pot's already 225, 225. Degaff did call already, right? No, he wasn't there to call. So there's like 700 in the pot, and you've got like 35. I'm in, bro. I'm just in. You know, once you reach that 15 to 20% threshold of like the pot is out there, and I could probably pick this shit up without even having to show my cards or even seeing a flop, then yeah. Oh, Johnny 4 bets. Yeah, Johnny 4 bets. That's fine. That's fair. Oh, don't consider this. Now you're not getting any. No. Our mans ain't putting it in. Well, not right at least. Like he called it off with 3rd pair, and now he's calling it off with a middling pocket pair. I don't know. If you're there to gamble, is what it is, right? That's why I just ship straight up with the 9-9, because I feel like you're gonna get action and your hand's gonna hold up a fair bit of the time. Like I could easily see Degaff just straight calling him if he just open ripped it. To scoop twice though is actually pretty sick. To scoop twice against the under pair and the over cards, pretty sick. Johnny is the big loser so far, but that's mainly because that last hand right there. Sand the big winner. Let's see. Degaff is second in lost place with HC Ken. Damn, they're just like taking the beating right now. Honestly, those two, like like that last call pre-flop from Degaff was just super loose. Like, I mean, I'm not sure at what point which one of these players, is going to be playing for profit and for the sake of getting invited back, good for the game, good for action. Like, also when you are someone like, hey, there you go. See, show him magic. There you go, baby. And whenever I listen to the stream, bro, I love listening to him talk, bro. He just, 2 things that he says, man. Whenever he says anything large, 15 large is hilarious. And then anytime anyone raises, bump it up, bump it up. I can't help just repeat those things whenever he says them. So yeah, the dealer flair at HCL is like top fucking tier. But yeah, I feel like when you're someone like Degaff, when you're like kind of like part of the whole production, and you're a commentator, player, you do the thing at Lucky, like you kind of have to give extra action. So I can understand him particularly being like, say for example, like quote unquote the loosest player at the table when some of these big pots happen. He has to be like, for lack of better terms, like the Nick Airball right now. He can't just be sitting there playing like I would play. He's got to give extra action. He's got to put in that big extra move because it quote unquote helps the show. And I mean, of course you try to do it in the plus EVest of way, but yeah, that's how I feel the meta is when you are in these live environments. So much of this is poker, and then there's also like that extra layer, that social meta that just doesn't exist in a private game. Or sorry, not a public game. Public game, you sit down, you do whatever the fuck you want, bro. Sit down, put your headphones on, sunglasses in, don't talk to nobody, play like a net, and you don't have to worry about not getting invited back. Big 3-bet is nice. Try to take it down. Like, you've been really like, getting clobbered. And Donger coming through with the suited ace. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, man. It's like, and I love the I love the bet. I love the action. Let's go, Degaff. And you're don't check now. No, bro. That was his only chance for value. Oh, come on, baby. You're crushing me now. You're fucking crushing me now. Biggest fish at the table, you turn gin? All right, man. That shit pissed me off right there, Loki. That shit pissed me off right there. You can't be checking that. What the fuck, bro? All right. That's fine. I guess, man. Dude snap calls the flop. Snap call. I mean, if he out queens you right there, you just lose your fucking stack. Okay, you can't call it off with 7-7 pre whole stack when you're almost guaranteed dominated, and then not value bet that turn. All right, whatever. Now we're tilted. Open up, or winner tilted. Open up with the 10-7. K is going to give in the third with the KK. I don't have to look at the graphics. We already know that's happening. Johnny's jamming. What the fuck, Big J? Yeah, homie's tilted. Homie's tilted. Yeah, you got an ace. You got an ace or a 9 or an. Oh my god, this motherfucker. This guy. Hey, man, that's poker. Go get him, K. Get him on that second board. Get him on that second board. All right, chop it up. Chop it up. Dude thought he was being cute showing the 10, too. Like, oh, I got the 10. Oh, man. Best hand always gets crushed. Dude, it's crazy how hard it is to get kings and how shit of a hand it is. Like, if you look at the equity, you know, generally speaking, when you open up, Wizard, like, what the fuck? I'm saying, like, the EV perspective here, cancel everything here. The EV of aces is always, like, so much higher than kings. Like, look at this shit, bro. Like, just default under the gun raising. You get 34 BBs to the 21 BBs that kings gets you. Like, that's ridiculous. Because those hands are equally hard to get. And, of course, so is deuces. But, man, aces and kings feel so similar. But, no, it really is aces and then kings. Because, like, look, because then queens was like, you know what, 9% right there? Or sorry, not 9%, 9 BBs in EV. And it's like, yeah, those hands really are unique and their own. Like, aces is aces, kings is kings, and queens is queens. And kind of like then everything else is everything else. So it's like, God. But to be fair, aces would have lost in the same way right there. Santa just calls with the ace king. This dude's a weirdo, bro. He opens Sasa baby threes. I guess he just doesn't want to flip for the big. Okay, that's fair. He guess he just doesn't want to flip because he did double up. So like maybe now this is what I talk about energy, guys. Like in the that topic of the day, like that's a big one. Like he's definitely a wild child, but he didn't want to throw his momentum away. You know, I guess is like he's okay to lose the money, but I don't think he wants to lose the winning that he just had. Check. Interesting. You know, he's gonna lead river, which is fair. Everything misses. She's probably gonna pay off. She's a gamble girl. Probably gonna pay if I had to guess. She got moment of clarity. Moment of clarity. And she still fucking pays. Moment of clarity and she still paid off. But yeah, nice value bet from Santa there. So like, you know, talk about energy. I would expect that to increase even the current gamble of seat 1. You know, certainly will not slow her down. Donger open limping the 4-3-0. Like when this is another reason too, like I already said this once, like I don't want to offend anybody when I talk about these things. Like I just talk naturally. So I please, like if anyone who ever is on these streams sees me talking about you, please don't be mad at me. But like when I say someone like Donger worst player at the table potentially, it's because of moves like that, bro. Like you cannot be open limping 4-3 off at a table like this, you know, and then calling. And it's like it said again, call 25. That's another reason why. So it's 20. Is it really 25, 5, 25? Like what does this mean? Like I don't know what the hell's going on right now. I have to start looking at the pre-flop raise number because I don't think there's a $500 BBA effectively, you know? That would be a little weird. Just slams down the 4-3. Dude's funny. So Santa's here to gamble. Donger's here to just have fun. San is, I think, is how I'll pronounce it. San the man is he looks like he's there to learn and get better. Big John we've seen on the show a few times on like the Monday show. I don't watch the Monday show every week, but I've definitely seen him a couple times. But like I said, I don't really pay as good of attention. You know, it's usually just a background thing for me. So to actually watch the way that they're playing today, it's like definitely get a little OMC vibe, which can be winning. I mean, especially in a game like this, can definitely be winning poker. The problem with OMCs is they make a lot of bad bets and they miss a lot of value as well. The one thing they don't do is they don't really make a ton of bad calls. BGF just in give action mode tonight, bro. He is not. I don't know if has he scooped the pot yet, bro? I don't know if he scooped the pot yet. It's rough playing poker when you're not scooping. It's rough poking when you're not scooping. It's all good, man. He'll get there. / the luck will turn around. You'll learn to play poker one day is obviously not what I meant. All right, I'm just going to say it. This Sand guy is a good looking fucking guy. He's got like the perfect, I don't know, proportions on his face. He could be a character in a show or like a model or some shit. Let's see. I'm still missing this pre-flop action, honestly, mainly because of how fast it's going, but also the graphics like don't really keep up. So it says it's 100 to call. So I'm assuming that means straddle for this hand. 175. Okay, so it is just 25.50. It's just, I don't know what the fuck their graphics are saying at the bottom. 25. Oh shit, might be. I should be turning this one off. Sorry, just to make it look a little bit cleaner. Whoops. but I think it's just supposed to say 25.50, I guess. Like, I was really confused if they're trying to implement like an ante or something, but this pot right here is the straddle. That's why it's call with the 6-7. And then Big John is going to go with the 4x, which is relatively standard. Ken is going to try to make something happen. Ken and DGAF are both like just getting no luck, you know, no help from the deck at all. When someone like Big John c-bets, you typically give them credit, you know. It is very understandable. See, so it says like DGAF calls 25. So how is he calling 25? Unless it's like an ante game as well, where you're ante. I don't know. But whatever. Let's just assume it's call 50. Okay, let's just assume it's call 50 and then raise to 300. Ken's gonna jam it in with the 63 suited. That's extremely call it like whatever you want. Call it tilt, call it just trying to make a move, call it whatever, you know. It is not solver approved though. You cannot call it that. That's funny that John actually does give him action with the king jack suited, and that Ken has as much equity as he does, you know, picking up plenty of outs on the flop, losing many outs on the turn, and the river not helping on the first board. Can he chop? Based on how his luck is going tonight, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just ship this shit to Big John already. Don't even show the fucking river. Just ship it to Big John. There was no way in hell he was winning that second board. Now that, of course, is like this like next 2 minutes will be like the most woo shit you ever hear me talk about my entire fucking life. But it's like, I swear to fucking God, bro, if there's some way that you could figure out to read the universe, it's like this guy has no luck on his side right now. He's got no momentum. He's got no mojo. You can tell the deck ain't helping him. The universe ain't helping him. Magic ain't helping him. Nothing's helping him. Like, everything in the world points that he's going to lose that next board. Everything in the world points to that shit. Of course, that's just a fallacy. Of course, it's just superstition. Of course, it's just like complete fucking bullshit and nonsense. But that's how the human pattern recognition feels when you're looking at it all in real time. So if you could just somehow figure that out before it actually happened. But yeah, we'll end it there. Did not catch the action for this hand, but all I can say is I hope that the regs can turn around. I'm always rooting for the regs, bro. I'm always rooting for the regs when I watch stuff like this, because it's like, man, can we get a victory for the good guys? Like, you got position on someone like Santa and you can't beat him, and it's like, fuck, dude. It hurts. You have effectively position on. I keep forgetting the dude's name here with the nice shirt, but you got effectively direct position on him and you can't beat him. And it's like, God, can't beat him, but like, you know, you're not profiting right now. And it just feels like opportunity lost, because these are the seats that you're looking for, you know, like you should be able to read San decently well. Santa's a little tricky with his play, but I wouldn't say he's particularly tough. So like those two guys, as in like the two regs right now, I think got pretty good spot. You know, I would say even, well, DGAF is less in position, but he doesn't have to worry about a reg being in position to him. But with how many looser players are at this table, I feel like it's very hard to take advantage of anyone in position, because so many pots are liable to go multi-way. Single raise pot, check. Here, who raised for you? I'll show you. Sorry. Big John raised. Big John's on a tear right now, bro. Big John's on a tear. But it checks over to Ken, who's got the FD. Very reasonable. He is, once again, looking to make it happen. Also, keep in mind, well, not keep in mind because I haven't really talked about this yet, but if you've been watching the actual footage, what's his name? The two regs are also getting a little sauced up on that bucket of Corona behind them. And that, when you are losing, does not make people want to play tighter, for sure. Like, losing plus drunk equals very loose. Santa's probably gonna jam here. Oh no, Ken is deeper. Wait, he folded? I thought he was gonna jam because I thought Ken was like, I thought he rebought for like a smaller amount. That's like super surprising. So because it just checked. So, oh, my bad, bro. Santa bet the flop. And Ken called. I'm dumb. Sorry, y'all. I thought it checked to Ken. I'm silly. Apologies. 2K is a huge fucking bet. Okay, this all makes way more sense now. Yeah. For some reason, I thought Santa was slow playing on the flop. I'm sorry. Sense equals made. This fold is reasonable / logical. You know, it's just a great read / fold. Honestly, it's a great read / fold. I don't really know what Ken could have done in that spot to like perhaps bet smaller if that's the result for him, but like that's kind of results oriented. 2K is a big bet. Into what was it? 2K into 3,100? It's not that big, but it's a big number. It's just a big number in live poker. Like that's really what it boils down to. It's a big number. Like you wonder if like the salesman tactic of even going like 1,800 there, you know, size down 10%, like you're still going to get a lot of value, but you maybe psychologically get the person to buy is a tactic. But also at the same point in time, I could very easily see Ken just being on the bro, I just turned a big hand, best hand I've had all night, and there's no fucking way I'm letting someone draw out on me for a cheap price. If you're gonna beat me this hand, you're gonna pay to beat me. I could absolutely see that being his logic and him just being quite literally happy to win a reasonable pot, even if it wasn't a big one. Just anything in the right direction sometimes helps, you know. Not everyone can be Big John, you know, stacking every single pot. Although I will say I do not like when players like San and Big John put their chips like that. I think that shit's super annoying, especially if you're to their direct right. Like, unless you're like, I mean, of course you always should be, but like sometimes you just aren't, and that's life. But sometimes you have to look over and see, wait, do you have cards? Do you have cards? Like the stack is just blocking it. Like you cannot see shit. So I think that should be like almost like a rule at the poker table. Like you can't be any more out than you are deep back. As in, like, you got to be 3-4 stacks back before you start going 2-3-4 stacks out forward. Like, you better have that many fucking chips. And on the same note, like, just chip up, you know, and just stack up too. Like, verticality is not an issue. But yeah, stacking your chips forward like that is just weird. Donger with the A4S all in for 1700. Just cold. A cold 1700. Okay. Do whatever, just do it or don't, bro. Oh, Big John's in tonight, bro. Big John is in it to win it tonight. I was just being a chopper. Oh boy, I was just being a chopper, massive. But oh my, Big John's gonna scoop this, bro. You already know. I'm shocked he didn't hit that 5. Is he going to get 3/4? Ugh, annoying math. Annoying math. Dude just open jamming again? All right, well, now he's just being a weirdo. This is just what people do who are, once again, inexperienced, who just kind of like want to gamble. They're in a casino, and like that's how they view this right now, you know? They're not trying to play poker, you know, which is what most people go to the poker room to do. They like poker because it's not baccarat, it's not blackjack. It requires layers and levels of thinking. And I'd be surprised if this guy rebuys. Are you really rebuying? Okay. I thought he was gonna just take the walk and be like, all right, I'm done. But I guess that was his like reset or something. Cause like that money was always sitting there, bro. You could have always just added on. So yeah, I don't know. I've never really been of that logic either. I've always understood, even from like really very early days, you know, reload, bro. Reload. Like if you got no chips, put more chips on, and then you can feel like you can play the game more, and you don't feel like you have to open jam ace-9 suited from under the gun, you know? And like he gets one positive result. He wins one little $800 profit, and then it's like the next hand, it's like, okay. It's also just a very, yeah, I mean, to be perfectly fair, I guess it is a player like, and I'm not trying to be mean, bro. I'm really not. But it really, if you're of a lower skill, that really is one of your better ways to actually like win a pot. Because if you do play turns and rivers and such and flops, like you are going to get outplayed more frequently. But as a result, you are going to learn more about the game, and you're going to, you know, get to feel more comfortable and this and that. Like the more you jam and stuff like that, you're just going to stagnate your own growth, and you're going to have a harder time getting in. Finally, Decaf gets some freaking luck, and it checks through. Can he get some luck with someone hitting a hand? Dude, this is rough, dude. This is rough. He has gotten a boat drawy board with a high card, and nobody connects 17 fucking ways. He got action from who? From Big John. Wow. Oh. I thought Big John connected with the other card. I'm not looking right. Never mind. He's gonna win a big one. He's gonna win a big one. I'm so dumb. I thought he connected. I'm not looking right. I thought he connected with like the deuce or something. I thought Big John had like only like one pair, like the other tiny pair. My bad. Wow. And so what did he just bet on the river? 3K. Nice. But like, here's the thing though. Here's the thing, dude. In any world, I'm gonna stop real quick and think, because like, dude, all draws miss. King 3. Is there any world in which we just like bet the turn, check the river? This is a very similar situation to that 3-3 deuce hand before. So you take the betting lead. That's good. I like that. Oh, unless he checked to him. Did he check to him? I didn't see. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. No, he's on the button. Big John's on the button, bro. Big John's on the button. You could like everything bricks. Oh, okay. Well, hold on. It's like pair 4s doesn't brick. So like 4-5 doesn't brick. So like that's really it. That's all you can worry about him checking back. But King X, because now your head's up. But here's the big specific thing: is all the spades miss too. So like King X probably gonna bet, spades probably gonna bet, the very rare 3 probably gonna bet. So I don't know. I just like to consider it. You know, good hand though. I'm glad that he finally got paid. You know, all he missed was 1K in value. Anyway. But I just like to consider it at least. Because when you bet there and he has the spades, you don't get paid. You don't get shit. Or at the very least, when he has the spades, you at least get, you know, a potential to get something. A potential. So I don't want to ever take that away from my opponent, really. Too many of the hands where people have big hands and the board bricks out, I just feel like people really should go for the check raise a little more often. Or when you have a medium strength hand, consider the check call more than the thin value bet. There's just so much random stuff that people end up with on boards like that, where it's like there's not a lot of medium pairs just chilling, you know, to get a check back out of. Like, not a lot of hands have showdown value, really. Another PLO bum pot. Santa with the triples. Ken with the trip. Oh, Ken with the boat ski, actually. Ken had to go for the double look. So did I. Is he going to call or is he going to raise it up? Bump it up. He calls. That's good. I'm going to slice the gun real quick. Give me 2 seconds. The 9 is actually pretty good for Ken, despite the fact that it puts another card above him because it does put the straights out there, something that he can actually get value from. What are they doing? Did they decide to check it down or some shit? I don't know what they did there. It looked like they turned their cards up well before the end of the hand. Maybe there is a cap. There might just be a cap. It's my only guess there. And I'm just calling my shot right now. Last time, this graphic just gotta be fucked up, bro. 25, 525. I'm not sure what you could even possibly get out of that. Ken raises. D-Gaffer. Now, who raised with this nonsense? Now, this is a real hand to 3-bet with. A7 versus A7 action on a 7 high board. Reg on reg violence, bro. This is like just actual comedy. The odds of this going to chop, I would say, is like 80%. 80%. And then the other 20% of the time, like some random one of these cards comes off, like a 3, a 4, an 8, a 9, and the other one tries to bluff the other one with it, you know? But I would say 80% chop. I actually think we're still close because I don't think either one of these guys would believe the other one. Pretty much that. Pretty much that. That's funny. Like, I think they are both happy to have not lost money that hand. It's a silly hand. All right, Big John raising it up. Couple of calls. Spa middle set for Johnny. And top pair for DGAF. Uh-oh, this could get a little dangerous. Although BDF in the potential. And BDS, actually. Uh-oh, BDS out. Gutter now is DGAF's only real out. Wait, what was the flop action? Big John bet, and they just both called. Oh, okay. I guess on a rainbow board, I actually don't even really mind that from Johnny's perspective. Is he gonna lead? Bro, I actually really like that, low key. I really like that. That's a very good play because this is a board that you could risk getting checked through if people have like weak kickers and this and that. So that lead's actually pretty sick from... I wasn't giving this Johnny character too much credit, but that's a good play. That's a really good play. So this is what I talk about a lot of the time, where even if you don't think someone's like a great player, like you can't disrespect anyone all the time, you know? You have to assume... Now, I don't think DGAF's going to pay the river off, though. You have to assume that people are still smart humans and that they can make good plays. Oh, that's a huge fucking bet. There's no chance. That's a pay. There's no... Because there's nothing brick, dude. 4-5 got there. Everything got there, and that's when he woke up to on the turn. It's like literally nothing brick. You can't pay that off, but you know, you of course are free to think about it. Oh, he didn't think that long. I skipped ahead 10 seconds. Nice hand to Johnny, and it looked like he tipped nice as well, which is always respectable. I always try to encourage good tipping. People are super, what's the word? Touchy on the subject of tipping. As someone who has worked several tip-based jobs in his life, I will always go out of my way to return the favor. It's kind of just like, I don't know, that's a whole other... Maybe I'll make that an episode on my other channel, you know, on my personal channel, like how I feel about tipping and like why, to me, it's just like a little bit more logical than other people might consider it. Oh, D-Guy, you're getting fucking boned here, dude. I'm sorry, man. This shit sucks. This shit sucks to see the person flip over the KK too. It really does. He might get lucky. Who knows? Run it twice. Oh my God, those gotten lucky. Uno lucky. That's big lucky, bro. That's big lucky. Oh man, I'm sorry, Kay. She ain't feeling good about that. Yeah. Well, chop it up. Chop it up. All right, now he can't complain no more. I'm not saying he was. I'm complaining for him, obviously. I am providing the complainings, the happiness, all this stuff for everyone tonight because we can't hear what anyone's saying. This is the exact opposite of the Hustler stream, where at the beginning they say, hey, we're going to let the players talk and you're not going to hear much from me tonight. Whereas I'm not going to let the players talk and you're going to hear everything from me tonight. And that is the only way that I could ever in a million years justify posting this on, the actual YouTube without, like publicly, because I'll put this up for the group. Probably, I'm just sitting here yapping. So I guess this would be a good experiment. I'll put this up and you guys let me know if you want more of this because I'm going to keep doing it, but whether or not I actually go through the effort of putting it through the editor to kind of clip out the dead moments and this and that will be up to you guys. Like, do you want to hear me ramble about this? Because yeah, it will happen. Like this will exist, but is anyone really interested in hearing me break down HCL footage of what I would. This is actually a pretty good game to talk about. I think I got pretty lucky tonight because a lot of the time when I watch these games, like they play crazy. You know, like there's like the analysis is like really almost borderline impossible because A, there's like side game implications. B, the money is just like astronomical. And, you know, there's meta that I don't maybe know about. But overall, right now, I feel like this is a very, once again, common compilation that you would find in a lot of places. You know, you could find at this table in a lot of places. Donger, raising it up to 200. All right, Donger, let's get some traction going for you, my man. I want to see everyone have a good time and win, man. I don't want to see, you know, anyone be a loser, or not like as in real IRL. Just like I don't see anyone lose as in have a bad day. You know, even if you don't win in the game, I want you to still feel like you had a good time. That's part of being like a poker kind of host, almost in a way. Like, you know, when you're at these games, even in the public games, like you still want to try to cultivate a good time and a good, you know, environment and atmosphere and this and that. Johnny is gonna muck the eights, and Big John's gonna call with the ace high and pick up a shitload of equity. Holy fuck, if not the best hand and everything. Oh, and Donger dinks him on the river. Get him, Donger. And then what's his name? We'll see that he had by far the best hand, but probably be happy that he would have ended up losing. You know, would have got turned then rivered. That's a wild fucking call from Big John, bro. This, like, I don't know. I don't think he plays like that all the time, bro. Like, whenever I see him on the other game, on the Monday game, I think he's usually playing a little tighter, but maybe I'm just wrong. Like, I think that was more of like a momentum. Like, I've kind of been winning a lot of hands tonight kind of call. And you can even see he almost squeezed that one out of nowhere. So he still might, you know, that might keep his energy meter going. HC Ken looks like he's sizing up for a third bet. It's just a call. Okay. Just the way that I saw him handling his chips. So raise from the sun, and then K is going to put in the third. K is going to put in the chunky PFR with the best hand. And she takes it down. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, once again, I don't know if anyone's going to want to listen to any of it. But once I throw it through the audio clipper, I'm sure I can actually, you know, come out with a halfway decent product. The graphics ain't catching up, but that's okay. I'm here. Everyone's calling. Everyone's playing. Poker is happening. The camera guy is is on break. 3-3 queen on the flop. Big action. Medium action. Uh-oh, big action. Big John's got a 3. That's all I can tell you right now. Big John's got a tray. Oh, dongles. You're getting donged, bro. You got to assume Santa's out of there with the Q2. Damn. I was rooting for my man. And like one of his outs is dead too now. I really was. You don't want to get fooled by that. You know, that's relatively Texas too. Yeah, GG, right? That's relatively Texas too. What did he bet on the flop? What was his flop action? He just checked jammed, bro. That's Texas as fuck. That's so Texas, bro. I'll make it look like I got a flush draw. Yeehaw. Yeah. Well, is that going to be a rebuy? Because okay, he's chopping. I didn't see that they had the 2 for going. I forget that people auto run it twice. I am still in my heart of hearts conflicted about running it twice in just like the spirit of poker, you could say. Just because like no limit hold'em has always been. That's why like there's 2 things that really fucking bother me about the world of poker in 2026. One would be I wouldn't say running it twice bothers me necessarily, but like I do have to think about it, and I just don't prefer it. I would say like I ultimately do not prefer it. But I understand it. It's like, you know, reduce variance, this, that, yada yada. But like the whole mentality of like all in, single run out, the action is the action, and like the momentum that comes with that, the tilt that comes with that is such a part of the game that to remove that is like weird to me. That and then rebuy tournaments, or like the re-entry period for tournaments, like because it's the same thing. Like a freeze out, like a tournament used to be a freeze out. You know, you would enter, and like if you weren't there on the fucking spot to enter, or like you could register pre, of course, like they would open the entry or the registration period, you know, for like a week ahead of time for the bigger tournaments, or like, you know, a day for online tournaments or whatever. But once the tournament started, if you were not in it, you were not in it. And that was just how tournaments were. And to me, that whole one chance finality, and of course there was no re-entry, like forget that shit. There was no late reg and no re-entry. So to me, that whole like really like, oh, DGAF is getting a good spot right here against Santa is I like that. And now we're in more of like a reduced variance style of poker, I guess you would say. But if that's what it takes to grow the game, that's what it takes to grow the game. Because the game certainly is bigger today than it was back when I played initially. It is, which is weird to say. Oh, damn. All right, DGAF, hold on one. He'll hold on this one. You can feel it. You know, like how I was talking about the universe and the feeling, like you can feel it. He'll hold on this one. You just know he will. I don't know how to word it. And the way that you knew HC Ken was going to lose that second run out, you knew DGAF was going to hold on that second run out. And like all that really is it's like in some spots it would just be so unreasonably unlucky lucky, that you're just putting your faith in the more likely. And once again, every time I talk about that kind of stuff, it is literal complete bullshit. It's just, that's human superstition and incorrect pattern recognition, and that's one of those things that like kind of makes gambling profitable, not only for casinos but for poker players, because people will genuinely think that way. Like, people will call with bad odds because they felt it, you know, they felt they were going to get lucky, and it's like, cool, you keep doing that. Nobody with the A, but K with the betting. She was a little fearless, huh? And DGAF with the, I thought I was gonna go for the XR with the check call on 9 high. That's weird. Unless he's gonna make a play right now. She bets 1K. And like, this is such a cool bet because it's like so small. And now he makes a play. Ooh, very. Did he raise? Did he min raise? Did he click it at her? That was tight. That was tight. He clicked it at her. Damn. That was good. That was good. That was cute. That's exactly what I was talking about. Who was I talking to about a hand earlier? Who when you donked the river, open jam, not donked for open jam, for like 2x pot, bro, those check min raises on the turn and then bet a little bit on the river, you're repping it, you know? And he got her on the click on the turn, min raise too. That's why I said check min raise the turn is strong and scary. People respect it. People respect it. And it's your best bluffing value, you know? Like, if you're gonna bluff like that, and people are gonna look you up like that in the future. So it's a great way to implement some out of line plays. Little pot with the KK for seat 1 to gain a little momentum. She hasn't really had too much going on since that bigger hand that she lost to, where she called it off against Santa, I want to say it was. She was like thinking about it. Yeah, she was thinking about it, and then just didn't quite make the right read. She felt it though, and you could tell by just looking at her body language that she felt what the right play was. Just couldn't quite pull the trigger. HC Ken in the SB, only calling with the 8-8. Interesting. You know, it's 3 blind right now, so like that's of course the reason, I'm sure, but I'm still a little surprised. That's fine though. That's fine. He leads out though 5 ways on a Q deuce 5 flop, and DGAF has the Q with no kicker. Well, medium kicker, I guess you could say, with the computer hand beep boop. And Ken's gonna keep betting on the deuce turn, which is like a little sus, because like you're really only hoping that your 2 callers now, Johnny with the ace 4 off, you're hoping that they, oh my god, Johnny with the raise now, ace 4 off on the deuce turn, he's really putting it into play. He got the 8-8 out of there. Now will DGAF fold the 7? I think he will, bro. This is 2 pretty good plays from Johnny that we've seen in a row. 2 pretty good plays from Johnny that we've seen in a row. Like, I can't see him putting Johnny on just like air here. I think this is going to get through. Wow, DGAF sniffs it out. Playing some poker. They're in the streets. They are in the streets. DGAF's going to think for a minute, check, and then we're going to watch. Oh, they just checked. Oh, my bad. I thought we were on him first for that reason. But basically the reason why he calls that turn is let's call it these 2 things. I guess it's really just one thing. He's keeping him honest, you know? And where's the honesty? It's forcing him to fire that river bluff. Now, that, of course, is not keeping him honest in, like, the grand scheme of things, but he's going to really make him put that max pressure on to get him to fold a hand of that caliber, is what DGAF is saying. So, excellent pot by him. It's hard to make that call because, of course, you don't know when the turn, when the river barrel is going to actually happen. So what you have to really do is you have to kind of put him on that. You have to put him on the float on the flop, and then like the opportunistic bluff on the turn. And that's really hard because like, what are you really floating the flop with? And is he betting like non-board pairing turns? Because like those are way easier to call down on. So you kind of like, the dude like got lucky, so to speak, to bet that hand, to get that turn card to bet, because like that's something he can actually rep when he overcalls. You know, maybe he had like a small deuce, like a 3 deuce or a 4 deuce or an ace deuce or just something like that, you know? And like that actually makes sense. But like say the turn's like, I don't know, like the 7 or an 8 or whatever. Like it's really hard to start repping shit on a deuce 5 queen rainbow board when you overcall on the flop in a limped pot. Limped straddle limped pot, I guess. So he could be repping like a bigger queen or this or that, like, you know, that not that was going to limp re-raise, but that was going to like limp and then call a raise, I guess you can say, because a lot of players in these games they don't want to raise because they don't want to get 3-bet, but they are okay with putting in the raise amount, so they'll limp and then just call when they do get raised. Of course, I'm not saying this is a good strategy or bad strategy, I'm just saying this is what happens sometimes. I was going to say, I don't know if I can make it any longer, but I can just go get a protein shake. Yeah, my stomach is hurting. All right, let's click another straddle pot limping around. And we are back, everybody. I know to you guys it has been 0 moments, but to me it had been quite a few. My little cousin Jackson hit me up. He's like, "Hey man, can you watch me stream?" He's only 10 and he's been streaming. Dude's like crushing it with his ambition, you know. And so then we played a little bit of Arc Raiders together, and that was about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. So if my positioning of the camera is slightly different because I moved it around, or if my sound or anything is like off because like maybe the microphone's a little different, I'm sitting a little further away or whatever, I apologize, slash if I forget anything that I had already seen. But just jumping right back into the action, we already missed pre-flop. Donger, say Donger, raise pre with the 9-9. And now, by the way, guys, I've been bitching it's funny, video about how this looks weird. And now they moved it to 25-25 NL. So I really have no idea what is going on. Oh, and it does say, my bad. It does say 25-25 in the title. So I have no idea. I have no idea if those hands that were being raised to like 300 were in fact 12x raises, if maybe there was a single straddle and they were 6x, if there was a triple straddle or double straddle, and they were 3x. So their graphics have been screwy. I'm not using the volume, so that's gonna be harder for me. Dang, Dongy, you gotta just like not get married to your hand. Like, this is very typical recreational player behavior, is like, you got a good hand before the flop and you just don't want to fold it, even though you just don't know where you are, man. Like, he has no idea where he is. That's the thing that sucks about this. Like, players like this choose a very expensive route to get good at poker, and they do it by playing in high stakes games, man. And this is, 25-50 or 25-25 or whatever the hell they're playing right now is like without a doubt high stakes poker. So this is like the start. This is the intro for sure. 25-25 5K buy-in would be like probably what most people would consider like the line of high stakes. I personally think that like 10-20 with a 5K buy-in, you can still call that high stakes. I think that's pretty big, especially when you put a $40 straddle on, which can happen at any point in time pretty much. So that's what I view it. But I think most people would consider the $25 small blind to be the intro, because I guess here they're playing 25-25. I would have said the $50 big blind, but this game is certainly playing like a high stakes game. You cannot say they're not playing high stakes right now. So yeah, like, you don't have to learn poker playing high stakes. I get some people don't want to go to the casino and play like 1-2 or whatever. Like when you're playing live, they want to maybe be in more of a comfortable environment, like maybe with people of their own, like peers of themselves, like people who are maybe financially off a little bit better, maybe willing to gamble a little more, like that kind of thing. When you're just learning the game, like, you can learn it online, man. You can learn it through a coach. You can learn it through so many ways. Like, this is expensive, bro. This is an expensive way. Like, he's lost like 10K, this Donger guy. 10K through a really reputable coach will get you to be a winning player, bro. They will get you to be at least a winning player. And like, I don't think this gentleman's a winning player right now. I think they're playing losing poker. I can't tell you what their win rate would be. It's like probably negative 15 to 20 BB per 100 minimum, though. Like, I think it's in that range. So, and like, they could just spend that 10K and like hire, even like a really well-known person, or like someone under them. Like, say not necessarily like a Phil Galfond, but like say someone on Galfond's site, they could definitely get them to where they need to be going. Or I don't know if Bart Hansen does coaching directly, but this guy needs some Bart in his life. All right, so DGAF with the open, K with third, and then D checking out the stack size. They are about 92 effective, and this is a deep situation. You're effectively getting in. They call it to I guess the 25 BB, but like, I don't know what the straddle was here this hand. Consider it like a 50 BB. It's like a 400 BB pot. Oh my god, so they're going twice, I assume, and she is gonna get the first board. Oh my god, my bad. I didn't see he had 10s, dude. I'm so silly. I thought he had 9s for a second. I'm so dumb. And the second board too. Wah, wah, damn, little sad face. That's just a flip. You just lost a flip. Sucks to lose a flip twice. That's like a 25% occurrence, especially on that first board where she actually connected. That's why I thought she won the first one. That's why I'm not looking quick enough. So big scoop there for the host, who definitely needed a positive swing upward. But that basically takes away all the profit that she got earlier by scooping Dunger when she flopped a flush and he had a set, and she scooped both boards there. So I think she is back in the negative, because her night started off negative, and that was like her one real big positive swing upwards. So now she's kind of like back down to where it was, and like, that's just the game, man. It's a rough game, especially when you're playing live and you are not playing as fast as we are right now. Which, by the way, I'm going to increase it a little bit to 1 point. So actually, let's go full 2x. Let's go full 2x because I do want to get through this as quick as possible. Well, we will just ride with it like this. But yeah, I'm going to go 2x so that we can get this video done with. I know there's quite a bit of poker left to be had. And Big John jamming it in there with the top pair good kicker. Solid play. It's a solid play in these types of games that are just playing really loose, really passive, and like very call heavy. Like everyone's kind of playing pretty light, you know, for the most part. People are opening up their ranges here. Dang, dude, we're playing at 2x speed and this guy's still tanking. That's wild. He knows it's a bad call, but he still wants to make it, you know, because Santa is there to gamble. Santa is there to gamble, and that's all good. Sometimes people are just there for different reasons. But yeah, I think 2x will be a good way to do this. And maybe even next time we do a video like this, we'll jump to 2x earlier in the video, and that will give us a chance to like try to get through this at a reasonable pace. Like we do have for this, call it for all intents and purposes, 3 hours of raw footage left. So if we go at it, you know, 2x speed, that'll take me an hour and a half from right now. So I have an hour and a half in me. That's why I came back. But that will make this video ultimately, once I clip it and everything, probably like a 2.5 hour video, 2 hour and 45 minute video. And that's a really long video. I've never made a video that long before. So fuck it. It's a good way, honestly, it's a condensed version of the stream, really, because what I'm doing is I'm giving you guys like all the action, but I am cutting out the dead moments. So like if you want all the banter, the table talk, the vibe, the this, that, like you would go watch them, you know, and watch it live. And if you missed it live, then maybe you want to come in and check over here, or you want to watch both, because I would hate to deter and say don't watch their thing, because their thing is like, it's almost like a different product entirely, you know. You get to hear the table talk, you get to hear the commentators' analysis, you get to hear, you know, everything that's going on in that room, like that whole vibe. So theirs is a production, whereas mine is an analysis is like a really big word for what I'm doing. I would just call it more of like a chill pastime thing, because the one thing that their show isn't super the best of, honestly, is talking about like any kind of like real strategy. You know, like most of the time the strategy is left to like a few, like there's one or two commentators. I'm not going to say which commentator that I think gives the best strategy talk, or which commentator I think is the best, or which one is even my favorite, because it's actually all pretty, I don't even know if those are all the same people. But I do love every commentator that they have. But I will say that they are quite lean in letting them talk, whereas like this is clearly more, you're here to hear me talk, you know. That's all I can really say about it. So that's why I do feel like these are two completely different things, and you could even inherently watch both my coverage of a stream and their stream, and you could even get more out of it, because you're gonna actually like notice more and realize more and see more and be like, oh yeah, I didn't see that on my own, or they didn't talk on that, or when you watch the stream, like you'll look out for this hand in particular. So I think I can add some value. Bet from Santa, call, or call. It's a relatively speculative call from Johnny that just gets there, bro. Like that's actually wild. The board is double, it's a double dirty draw, and he just gets there, dude. He just gets there, bro. Santa's taking a sip after that. Wild call, bro. What was the amount too? 1,500 on the turn, or no, 1,500 on the river. 500 on the, okay, so I guess he's getting like 11-1. I guess he's actually getting like relatively close to pot odds. That's kind of funny. Given that all of his eights are good, he is in fact getting pot odds. That's kind of hilarious. I didn't even really notice that, but that's honestly not even a bad call. But the dangerous part is, you know, half of those are going to, when they come in, they're going to put a flush out there and you just don't know at that point. But I mean, honestly, nice hand. Nothing feels better at the poker table than stacking a big pot of chips. You haven't even stacked the last pot and your cards are already on the way for the next pot. D-Gaff with the real hand. San raised to 300, very speculative. He's probably just going to fold. I don't see them as that type of player, like really battle like that. K, okay, I was like, she's not going to 4-bet, is she? She just cold calls, which is loose. It's loose. San may think that he has like odds now that she called, but he still doesn't. He should still just fold. He does call. I'm actually surprised he's going to speculate like that. I really am. D-Gaff does not c-bet on an extremely dry board, which is honestly a little surprising. Now, and he is going to check call the 1K. Like, I feel like he could have easily put out 15 himself, but I guess it probably wouldn't have done much. But I just feel like that's like the more common way to like start. Wow, he's going to win this with ace high, bro, unless someone bets at this on the river. Repping the clubs. And what are you thinking about, Sam? Are you going to try to re-bluff? What could you possibly be thinking about with whiffed everything? I guess he was considering it, I suppose. Good hand, K. She had the king blocker to the flush. She's like, I'm just going for it, bro. I don't think anyone's got anything. I'm just going for it. I mean, you don't want to let just random nonsense win right there. Like, it's pretty likely at least one person has ace high. And it's also pretty likely that someone has at least a pair. I would have expected San in that instance, if I'm her, to have at least like a medium, like a little, like at least a little pocket pair, medium pair, like some like pseudo connector that connected with the board, like some little tiny thing. But because like the 1K bet on the flop is like so small, right? Like that was into 4K, I want to say. Maybe was it 5K, 4K? I don't remember. But that's a pretty tiny tiny bet, especially when the 3-bet itself was 1,300. So, yeah. DF bets hundo, second pair, no or medium kicker, and Santa's gonna check back his river showdown value, which is typically what happens there. DGAF has built some momentum up. HC Ken's still kind of getting a little hammered by the deck. Santa was doing good. I feel like he's getting a little clobbered now too. Donger in the middle there just has had a rough night overall, but isn't honestly playing well either. San, you know, that's how I'm evaluating his play. Johnny is an interesting cat. He's made some like, you can tell he's like got, I think Johnny's like one of those instinctive players where like he probably hasn't really studied poker at all, but he's just like naturally good at the game because he's made a few moves and I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel right. But then he's also made a few other moves where it's like, that's just like really good, but I don't see a lot of study players necessarily doing it. So I think he's just a different kind of cat, who you may see him play one hand and you think, oh man, this guy doesn't play very well. Or you may see him play one hand and you think, oh man, this guy's really good. And then you have to kind of see the whole game to be like, oh, he's like definitely a mix of the two. Was that 100, 200? Hard to see what's going on. Can we get some graphics, y'all? So I can follow the frickin'... Okay, so it was a raise from Sant with A50 from UTG, which is extremely light, especially in this game, bro. Like, I can't see anybody folding anything, Check, bet, or C-bet, I should say, which is also extremely... I mean, dude, this board connects on so many ways. So to bet it is just really, really... Yeah. It's crazy, too, because, like, in these spots, bro, like, if he does go, like, bet jam, it's like, not on this river, but, like, on most runouts, like, with that turn hitting, it's like, he really can, like, sell it. It's just crazy how many boards you can just go raw aggression on, and I am always afraid to. Because you never know, man, when someone's just, like, checking down something random. But now it's like, you look at some holdings like this, and it's like, damn, bro, people really do have complete nothing a lot of the time. Feel bad for Sasa Baby. I feel like she's having a pretty rough night overall. Stack keeps dwindling. Seen her make a couple mistakes. All right, Saint Nick. Who raised? Call. Is that a double straddle? Because I don't see anyone that says raise. I just see the call. I don't know what's going on right now in this game. So two kings out there, but a few hands that are going to be interested. Dang, bro. Rough night for Donger, too. He just cannot catch a break. Oh, I'm sorry. Salmon with the top two. With the toppest of two. If he doesn't bet too big, he's going to get paid here. Because Donger does not know how to fold, bro. He bets 15 into 25, it looks like. It's reasonable. It's tough to get this guy to... I mean, I would never try to bluff this guy off a top pair. Ever. Wow. Good fold, bro. Good fold. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Good fucking fold, man. That's your best play tonight. I really didn't think he had it in him. Because a player like that, he's been getting beat up. He's less experienced than probably most of the table. And when you're getting... Here's the thing, though, is he's been getting kind of beat up in the same regard. Like, he's been having the second best hand. So, like, he doesn't want to just have the second best hand again, keep paying off, feel like a fish. And he made a good fold there. That's awesome. I'm happy to see it, man. Because I never would have tried to bluff that dude off top pair there. Ever. You never... Because you also never know how tilted someone is either. Once someone makes that bet, like, that's the real thing. You never know exactly how someone's going to react. Like, are they going to be like, fuck, I'm all in, and just kind of like jam randomly? Are they going to say, fuck, and then call? Are they going to say, fuck, and then fold? Like, you just don't know sometimes, especially when people who are less experienced, because honestly, bro, they may not even know. Like, you can say you don't take that action, say you just check or whatever. And then, like, after the hand's over, you ask them, hey, instead of checking, if I bet 1,500 on the turn, what would you have done? They may genuinely not have an answer for you, bro. Like, they haven't thought this far through. That's what inexperience really means. That's what lack of being studied means. So, like, whenever I say that about these people, like, trust, I'm not trying to diss on anybody. I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I'm not anything like that. I'm just literally saying they have not looked at the answer sheet. They haven't memorized the answers. So of course we're not going to know. All right, big raise from San SM. Ooh, double draw with both these guys sharing the open ender, San and DGAF. And now Santa turns big with the spades and the 6. Big John, the only one with an actual pair, though, is kind of funny. Gonna put in the call for 14 is huge. Like, that's kind of like a sticky call that, like, is so good, bro. Jesus. Like, I can't believe that he's putting it in and he's right. Ooh, and Santa gets there on the river. Just gonna probably take it down. I can't see anyone putting any more money in this pot, but that's a nice pot to take down for Mr. Claus right there. That's a nice pot to take down for Mr. Claus. No way. What? Oh boy, San's trying to represent. Putting out the 35 hundy, gets snapped off by Mr. Claus. He can only laugh. He knows he messed up. Not messed up, but he knows he walked into it, I mean, I'm not saying he messed up necessarily, because who knows? Sometimes he doesn't have spades there and sometimes that hand works. But all you can do is laugh when someone calls you with the hand that you're representing. Nice hand, Santa Claus. I did not think he was going to win another penny after that river hit. Good for him. It's like 200 to call. I haven't... Okay, so K raised to 200. Okay, I was going to say, I don't know who's raising right now. Sometimes, like, the graphics really just don't show up. If they would just, like, show the camera on the table the whole time, like, I could keep track of the action. but they want to move it around to each player every time, and then it's really distracting. Like, just have like one overview of like the table itself, and like the action would actually be easy to follow. Don't you tell me how to run my stream, buddy. Sorry, sir. But yeah, almost like even if they had like a little picture-in-picture overview camera, like just to see everything, like to see where the blinds are, to see what's going on. Because like if you see the money go out before the cards are dealt, then you know which hands are straddled and not. You know, that's a big issue with these hands right now. Is it's really hard to tell which hands are straddled and which hands aren't. But yeah, you are getting every hand effectively. Like, you know, I'm not cutting any hands out. I'm only not talking some of the time, and that space gets cut out. So like maybe between hands, I'll take like a sip of, like right there, just took a sip of coffee, you know, so sometimes it does cut in and out. But for the most part, you're going to see 100% of hands when I do this. Like, I can't imagine myself ever not talking through an entire hand. Oh boy, big action here, bro. You know, once again, call 25-50. They're both like 300 big blinds deep. Terrible flop for Santa. He can just check fold. I just don't think DGAF is going to be putting the moves on him right there. And like all of his little fuck around hands are going to involve an ace, you know, the ace deuce through ace, like everything. When 80+% of your opponent's range contains the top card on the board, I think it's okay to just check fold your relatively strong hand when they've already condensed their range so much via the 4-bet against you, who has not been a very tight player. Like, Santa's been sticking around tonight, you know, he's been here to gamble. So he doesn't look like the kind of, he's there to gamble and he's not dumb, you know, so he's not going to get fooled by some random nonsense. And it's like, of course that means that he could get bluffed there off of the best hand, maybe when he has like king queen suited or something, but like not a frequent occurrence. You don't worry about like those one little instances. People are gonna be like, you play the whole range, bro, not just his hand. And it's like, yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying. He is gonna have an ace there a lot of the time. It is okay to fold there a lot of the time. It's a 4-bet pot, not a 3-bet pot. It is okay to just like let it happen. I'm like 95% sure I saw that right, that it was a 4-bet pot. If it was a 3-bet pot, then I'm wrong and I'm sorry, and it is okay to just check call. But his c-bet was 2K into like a 7 or 5K pot. I think a 5K pot. 2K probably after the c-bet. DGAF messing around. Ken finally gets a win. Sorry, I was talking about that hand. I didn't really see what happened. Mind if I just check it out real quick? Getting speculative raising with the 860. Call. Everyone's calling. Everyone's checking. Check. Who bets though? So probably DGAF bets with Santa bets with the top pair. A little bit of an Oklahoma bet. Just because like your hand really is not like gonna get value from anything. Ken calls with TPTK, like kind of standard. I could see a raise sometimes, but yeah, now it's just a clear bet, you know? Now it's just a clear bet. Really, he checks. So he's trying to get DGAF to bluff, I guess, because it's like, that is, I mean, I suppose he's just worried about the 4, just worried about 4x, you know? It's just fine. He is keeping his range completely protected here with the check call line. I'm assuming he's going to check call most rivers. I actually like that line a lot, but I can also see betting the turn as well. Just because opponent 1 really looks like they're giving up. They look like they stabbed on the flop with almost nothing. Like I'm surprised too that you're sharing the top pair with them, but that also is the problem too when you bet top pair on that flop. Like when you get called in one spot, you don't really know where you're at. When you get called in 2 spots, you're almost like sure that you're beat. And it's like, that's a shitty feeling to have when you bet top pair. So with that same logic, I can see why he wouldn't bet the turn or even raise the flop. Talking about HC Ken now with their top pair top kicker, because like they don't want to overrepresent or overplay it in any way, shape, or form. They've also been having a rough night, been getting a little bit beat up. They kind of want to take like the slightly safer, more pragmatic route. Like they don't want to just go balls to the wall and then bad river card or what have you come, or like get pushed back on, like 3-bet over the raise over on the turn. Like that could be tough. That could be really tough, bro. Like he bets DGAF raises. Holy shit, that sucks. But check call is easy. Check call is easy because check call keeps in weaker 10s, keeps in flush draws, all that stuff. So I actually like his line. Now everyone's calling 25, so I still don't know. I guess a lot of these spots just happen because they really have to have an indicator when it's straddled. That's all it really is. Indicator when straddled, please. Sasa baby getting out of line with the 63 suited, huh? Okay. Bunch of callers though. No respect. Dang, Santa coming in, bro, with the flopped straight bottom of it. I call these boards when they're connected 3 ways, you know, and there's top and bottom available, and there's 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom available. These are the 48 combo boards, you know, where there's 48 combos of straights available. So he flopped the bottom of the 48. You know, the bottom 16. It's still a good place to be. Oh my god, those bro. And HC Ken turns 2 pair. The one hand he got a break on. Now he's getting completely unlucky. Oh my god, just check back, Ken. Just check back. He loses the minimum. The river comes in a 4-liner, and I'm not really sure what Santa was going for. If he was trying to get him to bet I guess he was just gonna check call against hearts, but yeah, he's letting 2 parent sets off the hook like every time. And if homie had a better straight, he would have already had it. He would have needed the 2 cards. He would have needed the king and the queen and the 8. He would have needed the queen 8, which would have been the straight already. So it's not like he would have rivered him, and he wasn't repping HC Ken like he had a better hand than a straight on the turn. So you are pretty much free to value bet that river and assume that you're good, unless opponent slow played the turn, which is just unlikely because like it was on the flop that the straight came out. Oh, there's a bounty going on. There's probably been a bounty going on all night, and I did not know. That's the first time I've seen them say 1 bounty, though. And I also haven't really been seeing them toss back and forth markers or whatever. That will inherently be a difficult thing, figure out in real time. But I still feel like the poker of it is all like relatively. It doesn't change the fundamentals of the game too much. I mean, of course, it's going to add a layer of meta when you have things like the bounty game going, or the stand-up game, or the whatever they want to call it, the squid game, or progressive this or that or whatever. It's still going to be poker. People are still trying to win hands. It's just some people will try to win some hands a little bit more. All right, there's the marker. They might have not been doing it all night. They might have like just started, honestly, or like been, for a little bit. All right, looks like the game is on. It'd be cool too if they would do markers next to the people's names when they actually have like, buttons or whatever. But it's all good. All right, raise from Johnny with the 98. Oh, that's pretty loose, honestly. Like, these pots are not getting any respect. Like, they're not getting heads up at all. Santa's been hit in hand, so I definitely understand him coming along with the 600. Big John was the better. Yep, that's standard. Well, it's a little Oklahoma. Nice river for Big Johnny. Santa could not draw it on that one. Yeah, I got to write that topic of the day so you guys know what the hell I'm talking about when I talk about Oklahoma bets. And then, of course, there is, I'll mention it in the article, but then there is, of course, the Florida bet. And I think my last 2 bets I will maybe keep to, I'm still refining those. I still haven't come up with great examples of them yet, but the Florida bet and the Oklahoma bet are like clear cut topics that I can talk about and I have examples of and this and that. Texas, Oklahoma, and Florida. Sorry, I pretty much missed that hand, but I see Son stacking a pot, and it's good to see him back on the upward momentum because he was definitely giving it away there for a minute. Sasa Baby coming through with a loose raise. Q3 suited. Looks like the game's just like loosened up in general because people are raising looser and calling looser. Like a lot of speculation going on. Son with a huge board. Oh my god, turning a boat ski. HC Ken, don't hit on for your sake. And he leads out? He leads out. And he raises to what, 3K? 3,100. He's trying to do the math problem. Do I have the odds to call? A lot of reverse implied odds over here. And the dude's only got like sub 5K left. So it's really not a whole ton of implied odds when you're right. And there's a lot of, oh my god, they're giving him the pre-fold doom zoom? Y'all are fucking dirty, bro. Y'all are fucking dirty. The pre-fold doom zoom, just because the guy's in the tank, or not in the tank, he's in the blender a little bit there. A little greedy on San's part. A little Texas. It's a little Texasy. Because like, bro, that raise is so committal. He's like putting in almost half his stack. So it's very you're not making it seem like you have any bluffs in your range, basically. You don't make it seem like you're folding at all. So there's no room to come back over the top. Whereas like maybe if you clicked it on him or go like 21, 22, 24, but 31's a big boy bet. That's almost a little too big for a lot of these situations. But he did that earlier too with the deuce, right? That was him with the deuce who just couldn't contain himself from checking he had to bet the river, even though everything bricked. I think it was against HC Ken as well. That's twice that his over-aggression has cost him against Ken, a player who is capable and who is, seemingly like he wants to be aggressive in a lot of these spots. And he's almost like denying him the chance to be aggressive. So I see K has a button. Yeah, I don't know exactly what game they're playing. Doesn't matter. They're playing poker. They're playing no limit Texas Hold'em. Dongles raises with the A6 suited. Honestly, probably his best raise yet so far. No one flops the Q. Does anyone even flop a T? No, but no one really flops anything. No one turns anything either. Son with the OESD. He is a frisky player. He's got a little more pizzazz in his pockets than you would expect. As in, like, he kind of comes off as straightforward, but then like when he's stacking some of these pots and you look at the hands that he did it with, it's like, all right, not bad. And things too that like will maybe for me personally be like a very big restrictor, like a bet or an act of aggression would be like, players in the pot, the texture of the board. He's just like, fuck that shit, bro, I'm betting. And some of that raw aggression really is good and really does work, and he has been picking up some pots and it does also get you paid too. So of like the lesser experienced players, like I think San's probably my favorite one. Here's how I'm gonna rank how everyone's been playing tonight in terms terms of like who's been playing the best of the worst. And I'm not just saying this because he's like, you know, like everything that I said about the show earlier and this and that, like, you know, he's the producer at Lucky Lady and he talks to her sometimes. But obviously the man on the camera I think is probably playing the best overall. A little loosey goosey in the beginning, but I think he's probably played like the smartest. And then close second would be HC Ken, like those who are like 1A and 1B, like they have both been playing really, really well tonight. HC Ken just has not had the luck on his side. But like with all that being said, like San's not too far behind the ranking of number 3. Like I think number 3 would probably be Santa has been in a lot of spots where he could have messed up and he didn't. So like I'm actually really impressed with, like, even though he's a very loosey-goosey type player, I'm actually very impressed with his play. You know, she's kind of even on screen right now, like she's been quietly playing pretty well too, Kay. I like Kay's play a fair bit as well. I actually think I gotta put her number 3. I gotta put her number 3. And then on the other end of the dealer side, Sasa Baby, I've seen her make a lot of loose calls. It was that one, I'm still thinking that one hand where she called off on the river against, what's his name, against Santa. It's like she really knew it and she could have folded and she didn't. And it's like, those are the hands that like really like can make or break your night. So I don't want to lead too much into one hand, but like I would say like her and San are playing very similar. And then maybe like Santa after, because Santa's just like, he's playing good on later streets, but his pre-flop and flop play are quite loose. And then Big John's just been kind of like solid, but like straightforward. He's like the kind of player who you would expect to see at any limit, honestly. And then Johnny has made some plays for sure, but has also shown a lot of inexperience. But he's made like a couple really cool plays. And then Dongy, sorry Dongles, you're at the bottom of the pack, but that means you have the easiest path for improvement, which is how I like to look at these things. You know, keep it positive, keep it a silver lining. Like I'm not, once again, guys, I'm not saying this ever to like diss on anyone and be like, oh, this guy's bad and he's not good and they're doing better. No, I'm just talking about what I see. That's poker, talking about what you see. Kay put on the pressure and Johnny is not believing. Let me see how this hand started off. Kay with the limp, Johnny with the big raise to 350. So Kay calls 25, then overcalls with the ace, or then not overcalls, then straight kind of defends with the ace-5 suited, and then she check raises or something? All right, so Johnny c-bets on the jack 7-6. She's got backdoor diamonds, backdoor straight, and she check raises from 600 to 24. And Johnny is like, fuck that shit. I ain't getting beat by a girl. And he calls. She pairs the 5 on the turn, and I feel like this is gonna go check bet a fair portion. She keeps on the aggression. 4K. I think he's gonna fold now, right, bro? He just dunks it in. He throws it all in. Wow. He really said, I'm not getting bluffed by a girl. I really feel like that's what he said to himself. I don't know how else to word it. He just looks like that kind of guy. I'm sorry, Johnny. I don't necessarily love her bet. Don't love her bet if she's going to be folding there, you know, because I feel like check allows him to bluff when he's bluffing, and there's so many hands he's not going to bet for value there. So like when he checks back and then bets the river, especially when he bets like small, like I don't put him as, I mean, yeah, he showed me some stuff, but I don't put him as that sophisticated to really represent showdown value that well. I think you'll see it, and then like once again you'll have to put him, like you make him pull the trigger, and we've already seen once tonight that he hasn't. That Queen 7 hand when he raised EGAF on the turn, he just didn't pull the trigger on the river. If you're gonna like commit 4K to the pot, I'd rather do it via like check call. He's probably not gonna bet that much, and then like you have some left over to make a river decision. But I guess I don't know how else to word it other than good hand by Johnny, because he just like sensed something, you know, he sensed weakness off of the initial check call, and then he thought this check raise is some bullshit, and I don't know exactly like what it is. I just don't believe it, you know. That was like basically like what got in his brain, and he went with his read, you know, and that's a really strong thing to be able to do as a poker player. So good. That was like, once again, like I said, he's made several really good plays today, and that is definitely one of them. That's definitely one of them. It's kind of funny too, because some people are like not that in tune with just like the normal meta of poker almost, but then in some hands they just kind of like turn it on, and like they know exactly where their opponent is and how they're going to react to them, or at the very least they can sense out something. They can sense out fear, weakness, whatever it may be. And of course they are playing the games. They're playing the side games. I still don't know if because I see now that San has one button, and before Kay had one button, so I don't know if she like was trying to get to 2 or exactly what they're playing. I feel like that's what they're playing right now. They're trying to get to 3 buttons because she doesn't have a button anymore, and now it's kind of rotating. So all right, that's probably what's going on. But yeah, it would help if I would like watch these. I just don't have the time to watch the stream before I make these videos. Like me making this video is me watching the stream, you know. So this is like me dedicating my time to watching some poker, you know. If I can make content out of content, then I can consume content. Sasa Baby just open limping with the JJ UTG. This must be I guess they're straddling to 100. Maybe that's what it is. I don't even know, bro. Who raised? Santa raised a 5 with the 65 suited. Sasa Baby jams for the 35 hundo. 3K more in the middle. I think Santa's gonna gamble here. I feel like Santa's gonna gamble here. I don't know why. I just got the feeling that he was going to give her the action. But when push comes to shove, he does play well. When push comes to shove, he does play well. I haven't really seen the Santa gentleman make any like bad plays, you know. And like when I was ranking all these players too, like once again, I think the break-even point gets to around San. You know, I think he's, or sorry. I think everyone, John, not San. I think John is like the break-even player at the table, and then the players below him maybe lose. Like I think long-term, I don't know if Johnny and Donger can hang. Johnny impressed me with that last play though, for sure. But just like some of his fundamentals don't seem quite on point enough. This is a tough crowd. Well, this is not a particularly tough crowd, but when you're at a table with someone like HC Ken and someone like DGAF, they can definitely skewer a big fish. And like Santa's got some chops too. Like he's gonna fast play his big hands, and even someone like Big John is like going to just like play solid poker, you know, and that's easy to lose to. The ladies too could easily beat Johnny, either of them at any point in time. So like that's my basic way of saying I am overall relatively not impressed, but like I would say everyone here is playing like fine, you know, for especially for the style of game that they have going on, like where it's obviously a looser than average setting. I don't think he can get much action here. Yeah, it's a tough board to to do anything with on the ace-9. San with the open to 2. Dong. See, like, this is what I'm talking about. Like Santa is happy to call 200 with 7 deuce offsuit just for the shits and giggles of it, because I'm sure they don't have the 7 deuce game on. DGAF gonna third it up to 11 with the with the 99, and he's gonna get there on the flop. This is gonna be tough for San. This is gonna be tough for San because he's not gonna want to fold top pair on this board, and I think DGAF's going for a big bet here. 24. I thought he was gonna go for a little more, honestly. And San jams it. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think San wanted to fold this one, bro. I didn't think San wanted to fold this one, and he jams it in against the toppity of sets. It's rough. That's a rough way to go. When you get 3-bet, you have the best hand, you get outdrawn. But like, to be fair though, that jam on the turn, I've made that jam too. I try not to make that jam. That jam is a weird one, bro, on the turn when you check rate. It's almost like you have to check call again and play poker on the river, and it fucking sucks because there's so many bad cards and you don't want to get bluffed. But I think you have to force them to try to bluff you and put in, you know, like when you jam, you're taking all their bluffs away. So like whenever you get called there, I feel like you're fucked. That's my only, I don't know how else to word it. I'm having a bad time getting my thoughts across on that situation. But I feel like check call is the only way to proceed. I thought he was going to fold for a second, bro. I thought he was going to fold for a second. Now, like, I don't think fold's necessarily the right play. I can understand it and I can see it. But because DGAF's range is pretty tight right there, bro. And not tight, but like, what's he going to have? What's he gonna have? Oh my god, they're all in together. What? Oh no. Oh no. San's tilted, bruh. San's tilted. Dong raises with the he's down to 19 and he raised to 3, or sorry, down to 22 and he raised the and then they just get all in. Bet raise, all in, jam with top pair, and he calls with a double. Is it a double gutter? No, that's a single gutter, bro. San just like throwing it away right now. That's a bad play. He's tilted right now, I wanna say. Nice answer, Dong. But man, that's a bit of a avalanche. He seems like he's still in good spirits. But yeah, that situation is really, really, really rough. You know, you get 3-bet by an aggressive player. Okay, so like check call the flop is 100% standard. But then the turn, bro, is like really, really rough. You know, because that's exactly when you gotta, it's not decide am I going with the hand or not, it's decide, is this guy really capable of bluffing me right here, right now? And it's like, I think DGAF could be, but is he gonna then bluff me again on the river? So I don't know, maybe, maybe not, but, and maybe when you do jam the turn, you get like calls from some draws and shit, but like, fuck, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe jamming is good there. Because, like, if he has middling cards like, you know, a pair plus straight draw, a pair plus flush draw kind of hand, that's, like, definitely the best way to get value. But the dude's repping, you know, jacks plus. You know, clearly jacks plus. And then he ended up with even better than that. I mean, I say plus, but, like, when you say jacks plus, you mean jacks to aces usually. But, I mean, he ended up with a 9-9 that connected. So it's like, fuck me. And, of course, if he's going to have some of those middle pairs that do connect with, like, a straight draw and this and that, he could also have a straight or could also have 2-pair already. So I just think jamming there is really, really, really optimistic. Pretty deep, too. You know, effectively, like, once again, I call it, like, I'm considering a 5K stack 100 BP deep right now, just with how everything's going. So, like, they're, you know, it's 400 BB pot. Damn, Big John going for another bet on this turn. That's very optimistic. I think he's reading his opponent well right now. And like take players like Big John too, you know, even if they're not the best, like he's still really, if you're gonna go for that thin a value, or you're a bit of a fucking madman, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little wonky badonky. The turn bet was good, but the river bet was stupid. Because he can just check call if he thinks the guy ain't got shit, and he's not gonna get value from like what? Queen 8? Queen like nothing? Jack nothing? I mean, very weird bet. Super thin, but hey, on the turn, I think that was actually really good. San gets a little momentum, bailed out by the deck there. Call. Probably a straddle hand. Call of the 100. Whenever you see that. And then HC Ken raising out of the BB with, yeah, so that's what it looks like. They're doing a $100 straddle. Raising out of the BB with Jack 8 off to 11 hundy, bro. 11 BBs. They're opening it up to. You love to see it. DGAF is going to flat with the KJ suited, which is actually a little wild because he could have easily 3-bet himself. And K is going to put in the Squeezosaurus Rex with 99. I like it. And she is giddy to take down the pot pre-flop. And honestly, I would be too, man. Anytime I get to win a like 5 to 10% chip up without seeing a flop, hell yeah. I think it's every 40 minutes they rotate dealers. Oh, here, let's go back and check this. I didn't see this yet. Cumulative winning. So Santa's still up 10K. DGAF is up 10K now. HC Ken is down about 10. San is down about 10. That's not surprising. K, yeah, her luck turned around with that hand with DGAF. She was winning for a little bit though. Sasa Baby's only down 1,400. That's actually pretty good for how her night's been going, honestly. Donger is only down 5K now because he just won that pot from San. So that's actually honestly pretty good for how his night's been going too. It feels like there should be more money in the negatives. I feel like there's too much money like being resulted in the positive, but I guess San and HC are really carrying the bulk of the weight. Let's check out the statistics. So yeah, Santa like massive VPIP. Like that's not surprising. Big John is actually kind of surprising, but he limps in first position and early position a lot. So like that's actually not super shocking. Sasa Baby at the bottom of 30%, K 34%. Good players playing good poker. You love to see it. PFRs? They usually give us PFR. They sometimes give us PFR. Maybe no PFR. Maybe only PFR on the bigger games. That is sacred knowledge we cannot have for these smaller games. But it looks like everyone's having a fun time. Ooh, K with the top set. Santa with the top, overpair, I should say. The top overpair. Diaz on the turn. Big John open limping the LJ with the Jack Deuce suited. Those are the hands as to why he is a 60% VPIP. So I'm gonna raise up to 5. Santa calling the 5. He'll call with anything though. Yeah, 5 is like so hilariously too small in a game like this. Like to raise the 5 BB, it's like you need to open to 10 minimum, like how HC was. Speaking of which, HC overcalled and then flopped. I really went down. Sorry. HC overcalled with 6-3-0 and flopped bottom 2 because he was getting excellent odds. He leads out for 9, which I actually love because flops like this do get checked back quite a bit. Is he going to get raised by San? Or did San just call? San raises to 23, bro. Seeing where he's at. Now he saw where he was at, bro. HC gives him the Texas. He just jams it in his face. Is this once or twice? Twice, okay. Wow, and San calls because that's a bad play, bro. You can't call the Texas, man. You can't call the Texas. Ah, my man, I'm feeling bad for homie. He's not playing very well right now. He was playing well to start, and HC Ken is gonna get a full double, basically. Looks like that might put him in the green, bro, for the day. All with one hand. I like this guy, San, and I would love to give him some free coaching. Because his bet is fine. Against the raise, call to reevaluate. Won a $100 bounty. That was a bounty? What? I don't know what bounty he could have won. That was his first hand that he won. Anyway, but yeah, once again, not trying to speak ill of anybody. Sometimes people just kind of lose their footing too, after a while. Well, I can tell you which 2 players at this table are not going to flop sets. What? A little luck back with San. Earning the check mark on the flop with the quads, bro. With the quads. Calling, smooth call. Let the flush come in. Oh, man. What's K got? Okay, K's got the KT. She might hit a bow. Oh, boy. San could hit big here. Now, Johnny and Big John are cannibalizing the cooler outs. Don't bet too big. Bet like 1K. Great bet, by the way. He bets 825. Great bet, San. Excellent fucking play, bro. Excellent play, dude. Everyone's drawing dead. Everyone's called him, and everyone's drawing dead. Holy shit, what a hand, bro. Right after he's been on such a losing streak, he's got a huge smile on his face, can't even contain himself already. What? Dude, wrong. Oh, wrong suit, man. Wrong suit. He's not gonna get paid here. He's not getting paid here. Does he not show? He got to show, bro. Nah, he's still feeling kind of bad about the session going as a whole. But that's still a good hand. Just show and say thank you, everyone, for calling the turn. I really appreciate that. I think on that river, though, too, it's like okay to go a little smaller. Like you can just like go for like a milking 1K bet to try and get something out of a KX type hand that's out there. Yeah, they're just passing around the one button. So this, I'm assuming, is win the 3 in a row game. Sana makes it 3. Santa's gonna 3-bet him again to 15 this time. I think that's how it happened last time. But I think last time maybe it was a limp and a raise. But with a real hand, and San wisely gives up. You never know when someone's gonna get tilted and like, start calling down. But I guess San doesn't really seem like that kind of call down player. It's a little more like that jam with the TT, man. Like, it's so rough. And then there was a hand right after too, where he had, I think it was the queen 9 off against Donger. Like those hands seem like kind of tilted, DGAF making it 2K. What? Santa made it 500 with a T3-0? With the 10-3, baby. Yeah, if anyone has ever played an MGM Springfield, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. And if you haven't, I'm not even going to explain it, bro. He calls with the 10-3, baby. Oh my God, and he hits with the T3. The T3-0 is coming through right now. DGAF is getting 10-3'd, bro. The mayor of Springfield is in town to represent. Oh my Gatos. I can't believe it. And he got 10-3'd. No way, he got fucking Springfield, bro. And he's gonna do some decaf, you motherfuckers. You assholes, bro. Right into the Ray-Bans. Right into the Ray-Bans. That's amazing. Go visit MGM Springfield if you haven't, everybody. You'll run into 10-3 one of these days. That is a Mayor of Springfield guarantee. K open jamming? Okay. K is gonna open jam for 14,000 with King Queen off suit. I don't know if that was to play defense in some way, shape, or form. I believe that's like all I can possibly think of, like to prevent someone from winning a 3rd button, because that's not going to win anything. She just lost. Yeah, Santa just won the last hand. So I guess that's why Santa was 10-3'd up, because he was on a button streak. That's what it was. He was on a button streak, and that's why he got a little frisky, a little loosey goosey, and she prevented that the following hand. I'm actually very glad that for the most part of this stream, they were not playing any bounties or anything like that, because it's just, it's harder to follow the action, like what the hell's going on even, because you don't always know exactly how much the bounty is on the line, and that of course is going to affect everyone's equity and this and that, but you also don't know like how serious certain people take it until you watch them play a lot. Like some people really don't like care about the bounty at all, and some people are going to risk their huge stacks a lot and just to win smaller amounts. Saw that on the big game on that Friday show last week. There was a couple times that Rampage profited because Airball was on like I think 2 or 3 buttons and he was going for more, and they just did not go his way. So it's wild how that can happen. It seems like now everyone's really fighting for the buttons and to be the one like, in the lead / call almost like with advantage, like in tennis, like, you gotta win by 2. DGAF open limping with the T4-0 from UTG is extraordinarily light, bro. K with the standard raise. Sasa baby calls with just 1 card. She is that confident. All right, she decided to show up with a middle pair card. San has a gutter. No one else really got much going. Oh, sorry. K has the fucking world. What am I talking about, bro? She has bottom pair with a nut flush drawer. San calls with like decent chance, honestly, to out turn her, but now with that turn, no buenos. Turning back around for Kay a little bit. Good for her. She seems to be playing well overall once again. Yeah, I don't really think anyone's like playing like bad per se. Except honestly, I hate to say it because I'm not trying to like rip on anybody, but the Donger is not. He's the only one who's not playing well. He's like probably losing at this table. Johnny, I've seen make some losing mistakes, and San has made some incredibly tilted plays. He's like probably the most polar player. He's played the best and the worst for like their player's self. Like where say like DGAF was playing a little loosey goosey in the beginning, but he's really tightened it up and he's playing really good. And like so you can even maybe say that HC Ken was playing like the best all night because he never really made any mistakes. Honestly, he played just great all fucking night. So maybe he was the number one, but the I feel like the pressure is on a little bit more for DGAF to gamble it up. K with a 2 pair and Sasa baby with the little. That is a very, you can be getting it in there bad and the other person doesn't even have a pair. That's like really rough. That's really rough. I don't love those get-ins because like you can be in such bad shape and someone can have just like 2 overspades. So yeah, I don't like that. Not trying to hate. But yes, I guess sometimes when you're just trying to get something going, but it's better to just Play tight and fold. If you can't, then, jamming in a spot that's ill-advised. DGAF with the third bet to 2K even over a few 300 calls. So Johnny was the initial raiser, and he is not going to let that stand. He is going to put in a 4-bet to 6K. I like it. DGAF with the fold, Johnny with the win. So once again, the dude has chops. Like, he can definitely play poker. He's not... I don't think he's a losing player. I've just seen him make a few losing moves, but he's definitely made some really good moves as well. Looks like a 400 open by Donger on the LJ with the A90. That's very loose. Just like for that size of open, he's trying to do like one of my steal the pot, hello, I'm here, still here type raises. Sometimes you're saying, hello, I'm here. Sometimes you're saying, I'm still here, everybody. Don't forget that I'm still on this table, and I can make a big move at any point in time. San with the bottom pair all in. Johnny with the top two is not... Dude, San, what are you fucking doing, bro? Homie's just gambling at this point. He don't even care. I'm honestly really rooting for Johnny to scoop this, bro. I'm really rooting for Johnny to scoop this. Because it's just just don't do that, dude. You can just not do that, Don't reach back. Leave the table. You're tilted. It's okay. You're now by far the worst player at the table. So just go home. It's okay. Some people just get really, really, really tilted. And that's okay. You just have to acknowledge that. And even if you have committed to playing a stream game, I would just leave instead of saying, yeah, I'm just going to burn 10K more. I'm just going to burn 10K more. Because that's what he's done since he lost that 10-10 hand. And the 10-10 hand was 10K burned. So, I mean, really it was like 6 to 7K burned. But that was, not the best hand. And from there, bro, it's been complete punting. Raise, all in. A very button gamey centric type move. Good hand, dead money, win pot. It's funny watching everyone at 2x speed because some things still move kind of slow because live poker is inherently slow, but just like everyone's actions are so jerky and kind of like moving so quickly and darting around back and forth that it's like just funny to watch the actual people. K7, but Ken's got the best hand. Probably not going to be too big of a pop, although Big John is almost all in, so maybe they are just going to go all in with it. It's hilarious. I think John's just going to jam on him or some shit. Now he checks, and now he's looking at John's stack, and he just jams because he assumes that he has some kind of draw. And John folds the third pair. Massive fold. I do like to reload my stack once again before I get anywhere near a situation like that. Like, especially now that the game is playing so big, like he could even jam pre and like get like a couple cold callers, like he may not even necessarily just win the pot outright when people are fighting for buttons and being wild. And like some stacks are up to like, like Santa's got 20K, Ken's got 20K, DGAF's got 18K. So like 2K isn't going to scare anybody out of the pot. Big John jams 2K. Ken and DGAF will both probably call here if I had to guess. Ken actually folds. Wow. And he lets DGAF do it heads up. Shocking. He probably didn't want to play deep out of position. That's you. Second board. That's him. Chop it up. Big hand. See, like, I'd rather because you let the short stack run it twice, you now have the 2K stack still at the table, whereas if you just ran it once, you would have either doubled them up and now they're actually playing poker, or you would have stacked them and now they have to rebuy. So consider that too if you're playing live. If someone's like, run it once, run it twice, it's like, how much money do you have, bro? On some of these small pots too, it's like, man, you're really gonna run it twice on these small ass pots? Like, whatever, bro. When I see people do that live, like even at some of the tables that I play at, and like I don't really play that high. Like the highest I really play is like 5-5-10. So it's like, bro, y'all are you're running this shit twice for $600. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, that's really what they're doing right now for running it twice for 4K. 4,400 running it twice in this game is actually insane. That's actually insane. I would just say no, like I hate to be an asshole, but now two hands that John's chopped like $100 and $300, like really fucking exciting poker. And he's just going to keep doing that. And he's probably going to keep chopping over and over again. And it's going to be no poker until he either doubles up or busts. So just don't let him do that anymore is my logic. But I guess some people need to see it happen right in front of them multiple times. Now I think they're playing a different stand-up game or a different button game. They're playing, looks like the progressive one where they each can win multiple buttons because now they do have the buttons by everyone's name. I know he's like trying to not lose and this and that, but like he's still playing. He's gonna keep probably playing the same way. Like he's just in shove mode now. So yeah, and especially now you got buttons to let him win too. Like get him. No. Like I'm getting him out of there with my play. I'm just gonna not let him run it twice. You guys realize that running it twice is a choice that you have to agree to. Once is without a doubt always an option. Now it looks like Santa made a huge raise, right? Yeah. Dude, Sasabi's getting boned. She is not having a good night, bro. I feel bad when people have a bad night. Ugh. Drawing dead on 1. She needs spades just to chop, dude. Spades or jack 10. Or a Q. Perks up. Q. It's a bad call, though, man. A bad call. It's too much. Too gambly. For me. You know. You got the money like that? Gamble it up, y'all. Gamble it up, y'all. I don't think I ever will too, bro. Because there will always be someone in my life who can use that money more than the opponent at the end of the table. You know, it's like I'm never going to really want to throw money around like that unless that's like the only way that I can get invited to like a bigger game or better game or this or game or that game or what. But like, yeah, I would just not be gambling like that. But that's just me. Big John jamming it in with the AK. Gets action from Dong with the QTS. And I honestly don't even really care to watch this, bro. Top the pot, do the button. Every hand is all in before the flop. Every hand is all in before the flop. I have zero interest in watching this. Yeah, like just the meta of the game has like devolved. Just to like round it out, let's just like see like how people like end off in this and that. 4x, only skip forward. I won't pause. DGAF raise to 6K. Cool, nice hand. And he hits the call button. Wow. We're watching this at 4x speed, bro, and that still took a while. DGAF is... Wait. Did I miss something? Oh, he had the flip. Dude, I'm mixing the hands up. All right, Big John raises. Sand jams, wins, looks like. If there's actual post flop and poker to be played here, then I will talk about it. But if it's just going to become a short stack jam fest, then I have zero interest in covering that. Because like all we're really doing at this point is seeing like people's bank accounts shift up and down by like $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000, which is like super uninteresting. The strategy behind how this happens, that is the interesting part. So even though there's like, you know, timestamps and this, that, I do believe I will be done here. We'll get like the very final count or whatever. So the final chip counts are Johnny got up to 40K. Good for Johnny, bro. He made some really good plays, honestly. DGAF at 36K, Donger at 20K, K at 13.5. Santa at 13. Wow, Ken got beat in the end there, and Sus baby the short stack. Rough night, bro, for some of these players. VPIP is at 32% for the low end, 60% for the high ends. What's the results? PFRs, there you go. There we go. Sandman. Oh, buddy. He like imploded, bro. He really fucking did. He was playing solid. He was playing good enough, and then he just imploded, bro, off that after that 10-10 hand. Like that really set him off. So you hate to see it. So Maybe had a rough night, dude. I really feel like she made like a couple mid plays, like that king queen suited call off for 5K, not very good. That 2K call off on the end against Santo was not very good. Those are the two hands I think she played the worst, but like HC Ken being down 13K after being like down up, that's rough for him, bro. He probably played the best tonight and had the worst result. K played very well and also pretty unlucky. Big John, lucky to not lose more, honestly, with how much he was jamming around at the end there. Donger ending up money is like actually fucking insane, bro. Dude played the worst on the show by far, and profiting is just, that's poker, bro. That's poker. He did make a couple plays that were like okay, but man, for the most part, it's like, homie, I'll give you some free coaching. Santa, glad to see that he won. He was at a 60 VPIP. He was here to gamble, here to play, here to provide action, and he did all that while still profiting 8K. Fucking gangster, bro. Johnny up 20K. It was probably the biggest surprise I would say here. He was in for quite a bit. He didn't play great in the beginning, but then like kind of maybe like progressively like got better over time, you know, like just locked in, played pretty well overall. I would say like I was definitely like second half Johnny was not the same as first half Johnny. Like I've recorded this video basically in two halves, and the first half he did not play as well as he did in the second half. So really surprised to see him turn it around quality wise, and DGAF played really good the whole stream, honestly. You know, he did gamble a lot in the beginning just to kind of help cultivate the action, but he played pretty good. This is like the first time watching him play, and I was pleasantly surprised. But yeah, that will be all for today. I will do this again on another stream in the very near future. Hope you all liked it. I'm going to keep doing it regardless, so just don't have to watch next time if you don't. But yeah, thank you all, love y'all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.